That's baseball. Anything can happen, especially in the postseason.
The last two standing in the National League.
Doesn't get easier. That's for darn sure.
This is going to be great. We're certainly looking forward to it. Sunday night, Atlanta, Georgia. We welcome you. Another standing room only crowd. And they are ready for Game 2 of this best of 7 National League Championship Series. The home of the Braves. The 2021 National League Championship Series on TBS is presented by Loan Depot. The Los Angeles Dodgers, the reigning world champions. Out of the wild card, they come to this level. The Atlanta Braves out of the National League East, a rematch from last year's NLCS, and here we are, set for Game 2. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Jeff Francoeur and Ron Darling. We'll hear from Lauren Shehadi in just a moment. How about this postseason already? 22 games. We've had 4 walk-offs already. The Dodgers have been involved in 2. And last night, Jeff Francoeur, Austin Riley, certainly a guy making a name for himself. He had his moment.
Well, the fans at Truist Park last night, guys, MVP, for good reason. He's been the Braves MVP the second half, leader in hits in the NL, and last night takes a Gonsolin fastball, ties it up, and then the 9th inning against Blake Trinan, one of the best relievers in baseball, comes through in the clutch with a double down the line to score Ozzie Albies, win the game 3-2 in a game, Ronnie, that the Braves, to me, was a must-win.
Why did they have to win it? No more bullpen games for the Dodgers. They start to get into their great pitching, and the great Max Scherzer is starting tonight. It's his 4th appearance. He went into the 5th inning in the wild card, threw a gem against the Giants, although he lost 10 strikeouts in 7 innings, and of course closed out Game 5 at getting the save, his first as a professional. And he's going to be going up against Ian Anderson, who's had a real storied career for a young career. His 6th postseason start. If he has an Achilles heel, it is in the 1st inning where his ERA is a bit over 6.
Remember, Max Scherzer closed out the game, his first ever save in Game 5 against the San Francisco Giants. They bought him an extra day. Mad Max on the mound next. Stage is set. All the emotions of an intense postseason on display. The moments they talk about for a lifetime. Austin Riley had his last night. Now we're ready for Game 2 from Atlanta.
Everything by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. And by DraftKings, the best place to get in on the MLB action with daily fantasy, sports betting, and free-to-play pools. All postseason, customers can play in free late-inning pools for a swing at over $50,000. Use promo code HEAT to sign up.
Great scene here at Truist Park, Atlanta, Georgia. Beautiful ballpark. It is 61 degrees. Slight breeze coming out of the northwest at 10 miles an hour. It's got that fall feel in the air, that October postseason baseball feel. It's what it's supposed to be like, right? A moment ago, they had a big moment here at Truist Park. One of their favorite sons, one of the all-time greats, 2-time MVP, Dale Murphy. He came with props. Had a Hank Aaron jersey, had his own jersey. Got to the mound, and then he broke out the Austin Riley jersey. How about that? Also broke out the pearls. A necklace made of pearls, just like Jock Peterson wears. You think Dale Murphy's not locked in with the Atlanta Braves? Got a huge ovation. Very cool moment before the game. The Los Angeles Dodgers get ready for this Game 2 with some injury news. One of their all-time great postseason players. For more on that, we check in with Lauren Shehadi. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, VA. Justin Turner not in the lineup tonight during batting practice yesterday. He felt soreness in his neck, a neck stinger, and he played through it. I spoke with Dave Roberts today. He said he wanted to play, begged me to play, but I asked him to turn his neck to the right, and he couldn't. You can see during the game he was working it. So a night off and an off day should be good to go for Game 3. Chris Taylor at third tonight, Brian.
Good reporting there, Lauren. So, Ronnie, that's a big bat out. That's 13 postseason homers. The franchise record holder in postseason home runs not available.
Well, he's started in 77 straight games. The last time he did not was in 2014. But think about it this way. It does get a new bat in there. Justin Turner has been struggling so far in the postseason. Maybe it'll get one guy to get hot this evening.
Justin Turner out tonight. Hopefully he'll be back for Game 3. Mookie Betts ready to lead it off for Dave Roberts as we check the Loan Depot Home Means Everything batting order. Betts, Seager, Trey Turner make up the top of the order. Will Smith, who homered again last night, he's got 3 postseason homers this year. Gavin Lux gets a call in center field. Chris Taylor is at third base for Justin Turner tonight. The bottom 3, Cody Bellinger, A.J. Pollock, and Max Scherzer. And with the right-hander on the mound, Ian Anderson. Roddy, you mentioned he's already shown up in a big way in the postseason. This is a young guy that has not been afraid of the big spotlight of the playoffs.
Last year at the end of the year, did anyone know who Ian Anderson was? No, they didn't. And now making his 6th postseason start, you'll see straight over the top fastball, great changeup, an occasional breaking ball. Does struggle early on in the first inning. We'll see that against Mookie and the Dodgers.
23 years of age is Ian Anderson. Jordan Baker will call the balls and strikes, all 6 feet 7 inches of him. James Hoy over at first base in his 3rd CS. Second base umpire Mark Carlson, he is the crew chief. Lance Barksdale is the third base umpire, coming again from left field last night. Then Todd Tishner, he'll have the plate in game 7 if we get there. He's in left. Tripp Gibson, who had the plate last night, is in right field. Did an excellent job behind the plate for game 1. So Anderson getting his final preparations in. And how about we check the defense for Atlanta, Frenchie?
Yeah, Travis d'Arnaud, no shame there. Catching again and going around Riley. Dansby Swanson with the great scoop last night in the 9th to get Taylor. And in the outfield, guys, same as last night, Jock Peterson, great job charging that ball last night, forcing Taylor to stop.
It was a very good game last night. It had a dramatic finish with the Austin Riley walk-off. These are 2 outstanding ball clubs that have arrived here to the National League Championship Series. And now the Braves up 1-0 in this best of 7. This series will go to Los Angeles for game 3 on Tuesday. First pitch of the ball game. Mookie Betts takes a ball, and away we go in game number 2.
Frenchie, look at this defense, already pulled around against Mookie, and Riley hugging the third base line.
Yeah, you don't see that too much that close to the line.
And right down that line, Mookie Betts rifles one foul.
Well, look, Ian Anderson, a big pitch for him is that changeup. And as right-handed hitters, majority of the time, you're going to be out front. So as you can see with the shift, planning on ground balls to the left side of the infield.
Been a lot of talk today about Ian Anderson, his first inning troubles. Ronnie, you pointed it out as Betts swings and misses. What specifically do you look for in the first innings?
Think about this. His best pitch is his changeup. If you're too amped up, the changeup's going to be a little harder than it will be later in the innings. Fastball command, too, is key for Ian tonight.
ERA over 6 in the first innings as he misses up high to Betts. 2-2 the count. Max Scherzer lined up to pitch this game. There was some discussion that Scherzer would pitch game 1. They gave him an extra day. That means the Dodgers have Scherzer, Buehler, Urias all lined up for the next 3 as Betts, little jam shot, and Swanson cannot make the play. Mookie Betts is aboard with a leadoff single. Betts just continues to swing the bat. That's his 12th hit of the postseason.
It's a 4-seamer that gets in on the hands on Mookie. He pulls him in just enough to get enough wood on this ball. Swanson almost made the play of the night on the first play.
That's right.
They're just missing that hit by Mookie Betts.
Spectacular shortstop, Dansby Swanson. He was right in the middle of the action last night. I mean, he had a number of plays trying to decide which was the best play. He certainly had a few highlights from last night's game. Here is Corey Seager on the first pitch. A high drive into right center field. Peterson on the run. This ball is up and gone. Corey Seager, a first inning blast. And the Dodgers strike early tonight. Seager with a 2-run home run. And the Dodgers continuing the theme of first inning woes for Ian Anderson.
And last night, Corey Seager swings at all first pitches 4 times up. He's not a guy that shies away from it. Ready to go from the first pitch.
Not the changeup or fastball, a hanging curveball.
Last night we talked about there used to be a day that you could get me over a curveball in the first inning. Those days are gone.
Trey Turner takes a strike. Boy, Seager was the MVP of the NLCS last year against the Braves. Would go on win the MVP of the World Series as well. Guys, that is his first postseason home run this year. The 12th of his career. Now he is just one behind Justin Turner for the Dodger franchise record for postseason homers.
One thing we've learned, you do not want to face the Dodgers the day after a loss so far in this postseason.
They have answered the bell every time. The Dodgers have actually staved off elimination 3 times in this postseason. They won the wild card game against the Cardinals in dramatic fashion, the Chris Taylor walk-off, and then got down 2-1 to the Giants and won back-to-back games in that best-of-5 series to advance. 2-2 to Trey Turner, a swing and a miss. Anderson picks up his first strikeout and the first out of the game for the 23-year-old.
ERA for Anderson in the first inning is 6.38, and the woes continue. They're a changeup, but a high one that gets past the bat of Trey Turner.
Yeah, Brian Snitker will tell you if we can get Ian past that first inning, he usually hits a nice groove and can kind of hold opponents at bay.
Anderson with 1 out. Here is Will Smith. Smith homered again last night. He just continues to be one of the most clutch Dodger players, and a guy who was just drafted 5 years ago. As a matter of fact, Will Smith and Ian Anderson were in the same draft. Anderson was the 3rd overall pick in 2016. Will Smith went number 32 in that 2016 draft, and both have starred on the big stage already in their young careers.
This afternoon we found someone who appreciates Will Smith's exploits as much as Frenchie Francoeur, and that's his manager Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts spent about 10 minutes going through the full checklist of why he loves Will Smith. He thinks he is going to be one of the faces of the franchise before his career is over as Smith draws a walk.
And he told us, BA, a lot of good stuff that you can go in depth, but ultimately at the end it came down to he's a baseball player. He shows up, does his job every day, and plays hard.
Popped 2 home runs in the division series, did Smith, and then he homered last night. So Anderson has given up 2 hits, a 2-run homer, now a walk, and that brings up Gavin Lux, another member of that 2016 draft. That year Lux went 20th overall out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, and Lux in the starting lineup. Frenchie in center field. That's been a big story throughout this postseason. When Dave Roberts feels comfortable putting Lux in the lineup, they need his bat, and he is very inexperienced in center field.
Yeah, he is only his 9th career start in center, but this bat tough to keep out of the lineup, BA.
On the ground, and that is a foul ball. A little bit of a late call. James Hoy was down there, the first base umpire, and we'll redo it. That'll be a 1-1 count.
Remember, guys, it's the home plate umpire's call until it's past first base, so that's why the umpire at first base waited on it and then finally made the call.
That was close.
It was close.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike on Gavin Lux. Lux has really swung the bat well. He was called back up September 10th. He was in the minor leagues. It kind of been up and down, and starting to play more outfield because of that terrific left-handed bat. It's become more into focus since the injury to Max Muncy, which was the last day of the regular season. Muncy dislocated his elbow.
Lux had a couple of hits in that hole between Freeman and Albies in the series against the Giants.
Did not play last night, and Lux takes a ball. In the 23 games since being called back up, the reason why Lux has forced his way into the lineup, he hit .356 Had 9 RBIs in those 23 games since being called back up. And then maybe most importantly for his manager, 11 walks and an on-base percentage over .460. So not only is he swinging the bat well, but he's tracking it well as well. Bouncing ball, Albies to second. That's all they'll get. And the lead out at second base, 4 out, number 2. Putout goes 4-6. 2 men are gone here in the first inning.
Really appreciate the intelligence of Swanson here. A little changeup. Always makes the play to short. T-Mobile base cam will show you the slide of Will Smith, but a lot of shortstops in a postseason game will fire that to first just because of the adrenaline rush. Swanson is an intelligent player. We've seen it each and every postseason.
So here is Chris Taylor now. Taylor gets a start at third base for the injured Justin Turner. A neck injury, if you're just joining us. Lauren reported that was having some trouble last night. It has been a struggle offensively for Justin Turner, and maybe the neck has something to do with it. Dave Roberts was hopeful that a day off tomorrow for a travel day, and Turner would be available for game 3. In the meantime, Taylor, a versatile utility man. He gets the call at third base. 9 starts at third base in the regular season. He started in center field last night.
Sorry, Brian. Frenchie, you ever had a stinger in your neck?
From football, yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey, keep your head up, Frenchie. Use your face mask, right. Not the crown of your helmet.
Wasn't the smartest, BA.
Runner goes. Lux pitches high. Darno's throw, and Lux is in there. A steal of second base. Walt Weiss on the phone to the replay crew. They say let it go. He was saved. Tonight's base cam presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. And a belly flop for Gavin Lux.
He just got great speed. He brings a lot of different tools to the Dodgers lineup, and he takes advantage of it here in the first inning, getting in scoring position.
Taylor had an RBI last night, had 2 hits. Anderson deals high. Changeup misses.
Yeah, and if you're Ian Anderson, 23 pitches now, you average over 21 in the first run. You talked about the high ERA. If you can somehow get out of this inning right here, you can kind of sit down, calm yourself down, knowing that kind of the tough innings behind you.
23 pitches, 14 out of the strike zone for Ian Anderson in this first inning. 2 runs are in. Seager with a 2-run homer. Lux at second base. And Taylor fouls it away.
Swinging 3-0. I always think whenever I see Ian Anderson pitch, I feel like he has to mix in a few curveballs to get him off the 2-pitch mix. Problem, he started Seager with the first pitch curveball and gave up 2 runs. Sometimes it'll shy a pitcher away from throwing that pitch again.
Well, and some of those guys, you said you can do that. Seager, though, all 5 at bats, he swung at the first pitch.
3 balls and a strike to count on Taylor. Hit hard down the left field line. That is hooking foul. Boy, didn't miss it by much. That one had a little more hook on it than Riley's clout last night, but he got barrel on it and in front of that foul pole. If it disappears, it's a home run, but that clearly was in front.
Just a little bit out in front of the changeup.
It doesn't matter how good your changeup is. If it's waist high, Major League hitters are going to crush it.
Dodgers with 2 hits and a walk. Runner at second base. Jumping on Atlanta early tonight. 3-2 the count. And it's ball 4. 2 walks, 2 hits. And now Anderson will face Cody Bellinger with 2 men aboard here. This is exactly what the Dodgers we're hoping to accomplish tonight. Get started early, swing the bats, and already a mound visit by Rick Kranitz, the Atlanta pitching coach. Ever wonder why baseball loves bobbleheads, or what your favorite players keep in their lockers? Want to know what superstars talk about in the dugout? MLB Originals has these answers and much more. Stream today in the MLB app. Beautiful ballpark, Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. In the middle of the Battery. And the
Rick Kranitz is more old school. You might have a pitch coach go out there more new school and talk about some analytics. You know what he's saying? Throwing the ball over the plate, son. Your stuff is good enough.
And he's trying to relax him. And now with Cody Bellinger coming up. Interesting. Dave Roberts yesterday talked a little bit about this matchup with Anderson and Bellinger. Bellinger, the high fastballs. You see Jacob Webb already warming up for the Braves here in the bottom of the first.
So Cody Bellinger stands in. He was the number 8 hitter in the division series on occasion. Number 7 hitter tonight, playing first base.
Another base hit last night, overshadowed by the Taylor base running gaff.
That was in a pinch hit appearance by Bellinger. 6 for 18 in the postseason is Bellinger after a dreadful season during the regular season. He has really come alive here in the postseason. He's been an MVP of the league. He's been an MVP of an LCS as well. And he takes a strike. Maybe more impressively for Bellinger, he is 5 for 11 with runners on base this postseason. Been at his best in spots like this.
Bellinger in past postseasons has been attacked across the top of the strike zone with fastballs, but he saw a lot of sliders in Game 5 against Doval. And of course, that changup's got to come and play here against Anderson.
Here's the 0-1. Bellinger hits it sharply to center field, right at Duvall, and that'll retire the side. However, Corey Seager, he strikes again against Atlanta. That's his 6th homer in 9 career postseason games against the Braves. 2-0 Dodgers. Everything batting order. You see Eddie Rosario. He's back in that leadoff spot. Jorge Soler out COVID protocols. Their normal leadoff hitter. So Rosario, Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies at the top. Austin Riley after his walk-off last night. He hits cleanup. Jock Peterson, then Adam Duvall. Then it's Darno Swanson and Ian Anderson rounding it out. And the future Hall of Famer, Max Scherzer at age 37, Ronnie, still a power pitcher.
Braves know him well. 27th game, 25 starts against the Braves. He's 10-9 career, and this is his 21st career postseason starts, ties him 12th all-time with Hall of Famer Mike Mussina.
He's done just about everything you can do in the postseason. Was a world champion with the Washington Nationals 2 years ago. 6+ years as a National. That's why the familiarity with the Braves, playing in the same division in the National League East. Rosario, he's hitting all 5 of his postseason games and has adapted well to that leadoff spot. He scored the first run of the game last night. A strike from Scherzer. Scherzer got an extra day. He notched the save, his first ever professional save, minor leagues, major leagues, in Game 5 of the division series. Helped close it out. Dodgers took down the Giants in 5 as Rosario pops it up. Chris Taylor will make the call and the catch. The third baseman over on the shift. And Frenchie, how about you set us up for the Dodgers?
Well, 3 home runs this postseason. Will Smith back behind the plate again at catcher. Tonight with Turner out, Chris Taylor gets a start at third base. Seager, Turner, Bellinger over at first. And then you go to the outfield with Pollock. Gavin Lux, we talked about 10th start in center field. And of course, the 5-time Gold Glover Mookie Betts in right.
And so 1 away, and here is Freddie Freeman. Well, this is a world-class matchup to watch tonight. Freeman and Max Scherzer.
You think these two know each other?
Boy, Freeman in his career against Scherzer, a .234 hitter, but he does have 3 homers. And there is a lot of respect between both of these individuals, Lauren Shahadi, and it flows easily out of both. They have a great deal of respect for one another.
Indeed, Max said, get this, Freddie is hands down the best hitter I've ever had to face. He can hit every pitch. You can't overexpose any one of your pitches. If you don't locate, he'll make you pay. Max said, I love facing him because that's who you measure yourself against, the best.
Freddie only has 11 hits, but 7 of them for extra bases, 3 home runs and 4 doubles.
And Max Scherzer has talked before. He says Freddie Freeman will continue to foul the ball off and make me make a mistake.
1-2 the count on Freeman. Last night, Freddie Freeman, a postseason first, 4 strikeouts in a game. First time that's ever happened to Freddie Freeman in a postseason game, and yet the Braves won the game. Freeman 17 at-bats in the postseason, 8 strikeouts, half of those coming in a single game last night against the Dodger bullpen. And Freeman, there you go, spoils one foul and out of play. 2-2 the count on Freeman.
Mookie Betts 0 for 4 last night. Freddie Freeman 0 for 4. You figured those two were going to come out tonight and make something happen.
Watch out pitchers.
Yeah.
Dodgers have a shift on. 3 infielders on the right. Freeman fouls another one back. Count stays at 2-2.
If you watch Freddie Freeman take batting practice, it's one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. It's line drive after line drive at the shortstop position, and it just shows how disciplined he is.
Well, he can do that all day long. Just foul balls off, and as we said, wait for a pitcher to make a mistake.
Another 2-2. And down he goes. Scherzer with a strikeout, his first. Puts away Freddie Freeman. 2 up, 2 down here in the first inning.
Well, Max might have made his best pitch of the night so far here. Slider, inside, good depth.
This is how hard baseball is, Brian. You face Josh Hader, and he hangs a slider in a game-winning home run, and then you strike out 5 straight times in a row.
That's right. Yeah, from the mountaintop down to the valley. It's a hard game. It is a mental grind, this game. Freeman will have his moments. Not off to a good start. A defensive swing by Ozzie Albies. That was a cut fastball by Scherzer. That's a pitch that he has added to his repertoire in his 30s. Scherzer now 37. He turned 37 in late July. And while most pitchers in their late 30s start to drift into a different kind of pitcher, more finesse, that has not been the case with Scherzer, whose mechanics have held up all these years. There was such a book on him early in his career that it looked like a pitcher who was destined for injury. The crossfire delivery, the low release, but he is strong as an ox, and he knows how his body works best. And Scherzer has been one of the most durable pitchers in the game in our generation here.
Almost every pitcher does not leave the way they came in. He's trying hard.
Be a free agent at season's end, traded from the Nats to the Dodgers with Trey Turner. Albies rolls one foul.
I'll always say Justin Verlander for him in Detroit was huge. Max Scherzer in 2011, facing him all the time. 98, 99 guys right out of the gate. By the 5th inning, he didn't have it. All of a sudden, you'd see 92, 93, middle innings, 95, 96. And really, since then, probably the best pitcher in baseball for the last 10 years.
Scherzer, 3-time Cy Young Award winner. Albies just lays the bat on it. Little soft liner to Seager for the final out of the inning. Shutdown inning for Scherzer. Dodgers get him 2 in the top of the first. Scherzer retires the Braves in order, 1-2-3.
Stay up to date? Hey Siri, show me the MLB postseason schedule.
A look down at Truist Park in Atlanta. Game 2. Don't forget, tomorrow is a travel day for this series. Game 3 will be in Los Angeles. Game 3 of the ALCS. The Astros off to Fenway Park to take on the Red Sox. It'll be on FS1 at 8 p.m. Eastern. Game's also available on ESPN Radio. And the full postseason schedule can be found at MLB.com. Joe Buck, John Smoltz, Tom Verducci, and Ken Rosenthal will have the call on FS1 tomorrow for Game 3. That series all even at 1 apiece. Ian Anderson back to work, gives up a 2-run home run to Corey Seager. And facing A.J. Pollock here to start the 2nd inning. And we're on for inning number 2. What are you looking for Ian Anderson?
Well, you're looking for that changeup to work its way down, Brian. A lot of changeups, belt or higher in that inning. Even got Trey Turner to swing at one that was letters high. But, you know, this lineup, even without Justin Turner, is still so deep. There's so much talent for this Dodger team. Bellinger, the 7th-hole hitter, is an MVP and a 2-time All-Star. Pollock is an All-Star and hit 21 home runs this year. That's your 8th place hitter.
And think about how good the Dodgers have been. They won 106 games in the regular season. Finished 1 game short of the Giants as Pollock sends one to center field. Routine for Duvall. And there is out number 1. So right now the Dodgers have won 110 games. And you brought this point up earlier, and it's a good one. We're hardly even mentioning one of the key bats they lost, who is thriving in the American League postseason, Kike Hernandez.
Kike Hernandez, Jock Peterson here for the Braves. They lost Kershaw this year. They lost Bellinger for a big part of the year. Of course, the craziness with Trevor Bauer. Really didn't have their entire team. Still produced 106.
Is there a bigger word than thriving? Because what he's doing is unbelievable up there in Boston.
Kike Hernandez is having one of those postseasons. Scherzer, a little half swing roller. Anderson fumbles with it a bit. And Scherzer is retired. And there is out number 2. A reminder here, T-Mobile covers the most interstate highway miles with 5G. Home or away, stay connected to your team with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
Well, Ron, I think this is a big sequence here coming up against Mookie Betts. If you're Ian Anderson, if you can get 3 outs on, 9, 10, 11 pitches, really kind of helps you calm down.
You know, that's one of the great things about National League Baseball is that at some point that pitcher comes up if you've had a tough first inning, and it can help you sometimes settle down.
So 2 outs, and Mookie Betts back to the top of the order. Betts takes a ball low.
I always think, as opposed to Trip Gibson last night, who did a great job of calling strikes on the bottom of the strike zone, Jordan Baker, home plate umpire, is 6'7" tall. Doesn't really call that ball at the bottom of the strike zone as much.
Tallest umpire in the major leagues. Jordan Baker was the alternate last night. He was standing by in the umpire's locker room just in case he was needed. And that's where Jerry Meals is tonight. Jerry Meals will have to play for game 3. There's a strike. 2 balls and a strike.
And guys, Jordan Baker, more of a hitter's umpire. Got a tighter zone. Makes those pitchers, for the most part, hit that little box.
Two and one. Betts in the air. Ate him up. That was a fastball from Anderson. Albies will make the catch, and that will retire the side. So Ian Anderson gives up 2 in the first. A 3 up, 3 down, second. Braves coming up. There's the star from last night, Jeff Francoeur. You took us into the hitting lab, didn't you?
Yeah, well, you look at what he's done here. You see how everything's coming forward. He's staying tall. Now, this is the angle I like. Look how those hands go straight to the ball, guys. You see where his head is right on it at impact, and then he follows through high. And the thing is, you'll see the ball has no hook at all, which means one thing. He's hitting through the ball. Those hands are going straight towards the pitcher. That's why he led the NL in hits in the second half.
Game tying home run last night. Game winning single in the 9th inning. 2 hits last night. And Riley with his second home run of the postseason. Max Scherzer with a 3 up, 3 down first, and a swing and a miss. Scherzer with the slider. Scherzer with a strikeout in the first. Finished second in the National League in ERA this year, 2.46. He is among the favorites to win the National League Cy Young Award. If he does win, it would be his 4th.
You know, when Riley was coming up through high school, the Braves couldn't wait. They really Loved the way he swung the bat. Greg Walker, when he was a hitting coach here, said this kid's a can't miss prospect.
Chipper Jones said the same. He was giving the heavy endorsement early for Austin Riley. Time for our Lone Depot home means everything RBI stat. First career walk-off for him as a pro. And the youngest Brave with a postseason walk-off. Number 11 in their franchise history. Don't forget, for every RBI during the NLCS, Lone Depot donates $1,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Scherzer strikes out Austin Riley to start the second inning.
Riley might not see another fastball this series.
Yeah, you saw the pitch before that was a changeup in from him.
Max gets on the side of that baseball, starts it out in the middle, and that ball just has a great downward movement and also sweeps across that plate to Riley for the strikeout.
That's where Blake Trinan was trying to put it last night. Riley hit a slider into left field to win the game in the ninth inning. One away, Jock Peterson now. Peterson, the former Dodger, rocking the pearls once again. That was the Dale Murphy reference for his ceremonial first pitch. Peterson signed with the Cubs to start the year with the promise that he would be more than a platoon player. Felt like he was an everyday player. The Cubs gave him that chance, and then the Cubs traded him mid-July. That started their fire sale. Peterson coming to Atlanta and tied him up. Boy, cut fastball from Scherzer eats him alive inside. 1 ball 2 strikes now.
We'll see how this game goes, but so far Scherzer has his A+ stuff.
Well, you wondered how he'd do after, you know, only you can call it a bullpen side, but it was a high leverage save situation in a game 5.
Here's a 1-2. This is with a changeup. Peterson's been so great for the Dodgers in their postseason history. Still got some Cubs influence there. He's still using the Anthony Rizzo bat. Two and two the count. And Peterson hammers one. It is hooking. It is a foul ball. My goodness. There's plenty of thunder in that Rizzo bat. That was long gone. Peterson gets out ahead of it, though.
I was about to say, Ronnie, that one pitch I think the Braves hitters are recognizing off Scherzer, changeup.
Yes.
They haven't chased it. This one just hung.
Whoa. I mean, that ball was way gone. But a long, loud strike. 2-2. Scherzer deals. And did he go? He did not. Checks his swing.
I mean, it's hard to call it an Achilles heel, but Max is so good, but he's also super aggressive. And when you're real aggressive in the strike zone, you're going to give up some home runs.
Check swing. I don't know what it is with you two, but it's so many check swings already in these 2 games.
It's all over us. We can't shake them.
It follows us everywhere we go.
It was a late request for time. Let's send it down to Lauren quickly. What do you have, Lauren?
Well, Jock said he stole Anthony's bat because it had hits in it, and he's not giving it back because it's Jocktober, and Anthony doesn't need it until March.
That's right. The Yankees are out. That's a
good point.
That's a double burn right there.
Wow.
He stole his bat, and he's laying on him. As Peterson fouls that away.
He doesn't need it till March. That's nice.
Peterson, does he know how big Rizzo is? Come on now.
I don't. Looking at Jock, do you think he cares?
No.
If he stole Rizzo's bat, who do the pearls belong to?
Yeah, the pearl necklace doesn't really lend itself to.
We can't get the story. We've tried.
It's got to be. There's a story. We got Lauren here. She'll find out. Peterson pops it up. Long run into foul territory for Seager, and he'll make the play going down to his back. Stayed with it all the way. It's a long run with the shift on. Dodgers move their third baseman on the other side of the infield for Peterson. So that was Seager's ball, and it's out number 2.
You said it, the shift. These guys have to go so far Great job by Seager, knowing, okay, I got to slow down, the ball's going to come back. And that was a high pop-up.
Remember the Nesty plunge?
That's right.
Scherzer, he's fired up. Yeah. Keep everything still. Justin Turner out with that neck injury, unable to play. 77 consecutive playoff games started, and he is out tonight. There's a swing on a first pitch. Adam Duvall with a base hit.
Yeah, he gets a first pitch slider. Guys, this is the three people to me the Braves have to have some offense from. 6, 7, 8. Last night, Duvall, d'Arnaud, and Swanson 0 for 9 with 3 Ks. This is the pitch you want from Scherzer. That's the backup slider. You can do damage.
As a pitcher, when you throw that pitch, if it's only a single, you're very happy.
Yeah, you're right. And he looked like he got it off the end of the bat. He was a little ahead of it. Maybe gearing up for that big fastball. But it is a base hit. Scherzer in the stretch for the first time. First base runner for Atlanta. Here is Travis d'Arnaud.
d'Arnaud's stance is way off the plate. He kind of is a diver, likes to dive into the strike zone. And if he's hitting the ball to the right side, you know then he's locked in. If he gets pull happy, that's when he gets in trouble.
Travis d'Arnaud. See his spray chart here. And the Dodgers play accordingly with a runner at first base and 2 outs. Trey Turner not so aggressive behind the bag. A lot of teams will soften their shifts too in the postseason. That's a strike from Scherzer right at the bottom of the zone. The tall umpire gets the low strike.
And I don't know how happy d'Arnaud is going to be being a catcher.
Yeah.
Getting this pitch called on you, bottom part of the zone. You said it wrong. Doesn't call it too much.
Yeah, he's already caught a couple of those pitches that his pitcher Ian Anderson did not get.
Even d'Arnaud can appreciate the frame by Will Smith. He stuck the landing, made it look good.
Saw that spray chart last year. Travis d'Arnaud won the Silver Slugger.
Yes.
Guarantee you go back and look at that spray chart last year. More even.
Had 3 home runs in a postseason in 2015 for the Mets. Mentioned Will Smith has hit 3 this postseason to impact catchers. d'Arnaud, the last, hit 3 home runs in a postseason for a catcher. And kind of the new age catcher as well. Both of these guys, Will Smith and d'Arnaud, not the big lumbering catcher, the small, quick, strong arm catcher that bring a little offense to the party as well. d'Arnaud was actually a Dodger briefly. Got 1 at bat with the Dodgers back in 2019. Then his contract sold to the Rays. He'd been released by the Mets in May of that year. Had a number of injuries and has been injured this year quite a bit. Torn ligaments in the thumb. Scherzer deals a strike. A called strike 3 to end the inning. 3rd K for Max Scherzer. Bluebirds are out in Atlanta as Mad Max is through 2 innings of scoreless baseball. Two to nothing Dodgers. Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. Truist Park in Atlanta. Corey Seager hit that 2-run homer in the first and takes a strike. A rare non-swing at the first offering by Seager.
It was a half swing. He was trying to go.
Seager launched one out of here to right center. He's got a consecutive on base streak now of 19 games. 6 homers in 9 games against Atlanta in the postseason. And a swing and a miss. Big cut. Nice changeup from Ian Anderson.
See where those changeups are now? Right on the bottom of the strike zone. Now you have to wait for your third baseman to come all the way across. Anderson takes his time.
Yeah, Austin Riley runs about a mile a day.
Going back and forth between the left side and the right side of the infield. 2-2 the count.
So now Anderson will try to get you on that seesaw. Fastball upstairs, change up on the knees.
Changing eye levels.
Take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. The home run of Seager on the first pitch. 108 miles an hour off the bat. And a 401-foot clout out of here. 2-run homer. 2-0 Dodgers, almost out of the gates. Teams that score first have had a decided edge this postseason. Braves scored first last night and won the game as Seager draws the walk. So Seager is aboard to lead off the third. Record is 17-5 for the team that scores first in both leagues of the postseason this year. Dodgers have not been involved in a game in the postseason where the team that scored first did not win. That was the case in the wild card and throughout the division series against San Francisco. And it is the Dodgers who strike first tonight. Here's Trey Turner now. This is a bat. The Dodgers are desperate to get going. Turner, the batting champion in the National League this year, hit .328, ran away with it, got on a hot streak at the end of the year, and was in a great race with his former teammate Juan Soto of the Nationals. Turner wins a batting title. Turner pops it foul and out of play.
I thought he explained it really well. During the course of the season, you'll have 10 days where you're red hot, and then for a week you can't buy a hit. And sometimes in the postseason, that week that you can't buy a hit are some of the most important series you'll play.
Yeah, and a guy like Trey Turner, though, with those legs, you always have a chance if you put the ball in play.
And a couple of hits last night. He was 3 for 22 in the division series against San Francisco. And he hits that one sharply into left center field. Long run. It is going to be caught. Rosario makes the play. A last-minute stab at it. And takes extra bases away from Trey Turner. It is possible that Seager scores if that gets by Rosario.
And great job by Rosario. This ball was absolutely scalded. And at the end, it started tailing away from him. And you see he had to chase it down. He saves a run and probably a triple. Big time play.
I mean, Eddie Rosario's in there for one thing, his bat. But he makes a great play there.
That's a huge bonus to get a play like that. The Braves, if they lead late, there are scenarios where they take Rosario out for defensive purposes. Makes a beautiful play there. Now it's Will Smith. First ball swinging, another one into the left center field gap. That one's down. A base hit for Smith. An aggressive approach after he walked in the first. Delivers a single here in the third.
Well, see, here's a perfect example, guys, hanging curveball of what Dave Roberts told us today. He's learning to pull the ball. Early this season, shooting it through the shift, other ways, and he said he's finally realized his power potential.
It's hard to believe that when he came through the system, he was defense first, hitting second. Yeah. They thought he might not ever hit in the major leagues.
Yeah, University of Louisville.
2 men are on, 1 away. Here is Gavin Lux. Braves are set up to turn 2. Lux, a very fast runner, and he sends one to the air. Pop up, foul territory. Riley will watch it down the net. He's got it for the out. 2 outs. Aggressive approach by the Dodgers, swinging early in counts. This time results in a quick out of Gavin Lux for out number 2.
Well, perfectly done by Riley. What you're supposed to do, get to the railing, and you can work backwards from there. He made it over to the railing, and of course in today's game the netting comes into play.
Well, for Ian Anderson, you just had 2 ropes hit off you, and you get a first pitch pop-up to give you 2 outs now. And again, you're 1 pitch away from getting out of this.
Is there anything worse than a first pitch pop-up out?
Yes, a check swing comebacker to the pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got to run.
Good call. Taylor on the first pitch. Pops this one foul and out of play. I mean, there's nobody better to talk about first pitch swinging than Jeff Francoeur, as you see Webb getting loose once again. But there is some method to the madness here for the Dodgers. They have been an aggressive team in this series thus far.
Well, the Atlanta Braves pitching staff versus Milwaukee got ahead, and I think you're seeing these Dodgers hitters try to kind of change the script a little bit.
It's called advanced scouting.
Yeah. The drop third strike's not a lot of fun either, guys. The fake jog to first.
No balls and a strike to count on Taylor. 2 men are on. And it's up and away.
With runners in scoring position against the Atlanta pitchers in this postseason, they're 3 for 32. So that's how you deny runs to the other team.
The Dodgers 1 for 8 last night.
Be your best when the pressure's on.
Taylor had one of those hits with a runner in scoring position last night. Was 2 out of 3. Taylor walked his first time up, and he takes a ball from Anderson. 2-1 the count now. Taylor's such a valuable player. He'll be a free agent at season's end. Dodgers have 5 big name players that they have to make decisions about. Taylor is one of them. Scherzer, Jansen, Corey Seager, Clayton Kershaw. Chris Taylor has been so good for the Dodgers in this great run they've had. And he buckled it that time.
Good choice.
Curveball.
I know it's his 3rd pitch, but if you're the hitter, there's 2 pitches you're sitting on there, not that breaking ball.
You could see it in his knees.
And you know what else, Ronnie? Now all of a sudden as a hitter, not quite as confident of what you're getting on this next pitch.
Big spot. Braves have the bullpen active. Ian Anderson with 2 on, 2 outs, 2-0 Dodgers here in inning number 3. Seager at second, Smith at first, down goes Taylor. A strikeout for Anderson on a changeup. Went to his bread and butter. Dodgers strand 2. Scoreless inning for Anderson. Well, we caught this scene between innings. Looks like Brian Snitker is going to take Ian Anderson out of this game. 3 innings, 2 runs. His spot in the batting order is due up second. And the Braves manager giving the news to Anderson. And I'm sure there's some discussion about what could happen later in this series with this decision.
You know, sometimes you are part manager, part psychologist, part patriarchal figure as you try to talk to your young pitchers. But I would think in Snitker's mind, he doesn't feel like he has it today. Let's start with the bullpen coming in and try for some offense.
And the game's still 2-0.
That's right. But it doesn't make you any happier if you're a young right-hander.
Saw Jesse Chavez just starting to throw in the bullpen. He'll be next. And it looks like Camargo will be the pinch hitter for Atlanta. He was added to this NLCS roster for the Braves. So Camargo will pinch hit. Chavez will come in for the 4th. Max Scherzer back on the mound for the 3rd. And the 1-1 to Swanson is outside for a ball.
During the regular season, you sit and wait for your young pitcher to come around to figure out how to throw strikes. But everything's on the line. You can't afford it now.
Well, and I think it's set up perfect for Dansby Swanson right here. Playing a big shift. Max Scherzer, all 4 pitches, guys, working you away. Great chance to shoot one through the hole right there. And with Camargo on deck, get something started.
Swanson does have a home run against Scherzer in his career. 7 for 38 lifetime against him. And the 2-2 pitch. Swanson out in front of a changeup. Scherzer's got it all going tonight. We've seen the cutter, the slider, always has the big fastball. And a good changeup as well. That's what makes him so great, his ability to command all of those pitches.
He always has the best game face in the game, except for that the ninth inning in Game 5. Then it became just downright scary.
Swanson hanging in there, leans out on one. That was a slider from Scherzer.
Said it best though, BA, the ability to mix your pitches, location. That's what makes Max tough. He can overpower you, but he's also a great finesse pitcher.
He finished 5th in the NL in wins this year with 15, 4th in strikeouts, and 2nd behind Corbin Burns of Milwaukee in ERA. Swanson in the air, center field, drifting into right center, and Lux is there for out number 1. All right, guys, let's take a look here at the odds powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. And since we're talking about Max Scherzer, who has 3 strikeouts already, over under 7.5.
His last start was Game 3 against the Giants. 10 punch-outs in 7 innings.
Scherzer, that look told the whole story right there. Mark Pryor comes out for a scouting report on Johan Camargo. Scherzer's annoyed that he's coming to the mound right now. I got it.
He's like, Mark, I've started against these guys 25 times. I've seen this guy 20 times.
I know what to do.
I know exactly what I need to do.
Beat it.
Okay, I was just checking. Sorry. Apologies.
Let's check in with Lauren.
Well, you mentioned Max mixing his pitches. He didn't have his cutter until his last year with the Tigers. He said he couldn't get Joe Mauer out. Mauer was so good at shooting the ball the other way. Max needed something that worked in towards the batter's hands. So he developed his cutter. Imagine being so competitive that one person's success against you bothers you so much you develop a new pitch.
That's it. I mean, he talks about it all the time. Great stuff, Lauren. Camargo takes a ball. His ability, we had a chance to sit down with Max prior to the final game of the year, the last weekend, and his recall ability on how to pitch certain hitters is off the charts. It's like Jeff Francoeur on the golf course, taking you through every single shot ad nauseum.
Baby fade.
Max Scherzer went right through the TBS pre and post game crew. Jimmy Rollins, here's how I pitched to him. Curtis Granderson, here's how I pitched him. It was impressive.
The great ones don't lose that.
Yeah, man. Even brought you up, Frenchie, which of course was the first pitch slider, and then move on to the next hitter.
Don't hang it. Don't hang it.
Don't hang it.
If you throw a good one, I'm out. 100%.
2 balls and a strike to count on Camargo.
BA's getting a little frisky over here tonight, isn't he?
Yes, he's
feeling good.
Yeah, he's feeling good.
Oh, boy. Pleasure to be with you guys, man. It was a thrill to watch Game 1 with you two, and then we talked about it for hours after the game. What a terrific Game 1 it was to start this series. Two balls, 2 strikes on Camargo, and a swing and a miss. That Mark Pryor scouting report, it pays off. And 2 men are out here in the 3rd.
Guarantee you Dave Roberts told him to go out there and he thought, do I have to?
Exactly.
Just climb the ladder on him.
He has the ability to add on late in counts, and it might say the same speed, but it is not. Just ask the hitters.
By the way, Mark Pryor deserves a lot of credit. He's done a great job. Josh Bard, the bullpen coach. Big name pitcher. His major league career never materialized. Wow. Had some serious injuries. But he has excelled as a pitching coach. First the bullpen coach, now the pitching coach with Los Angeles. Highly respected among the Dodger pitchers.
Had a lot of success before those injuries, though.
Yeah, he did. Pryor and Wood. What could have been. It does goes to show you, though, you know, we talk about Scherzer. I mean, there wasn't a pitcher in the game when he came up with the Diamondbacks that had more scrutiny on him and his mechanics and projections of a breakdown mechanically. And he has been, as I mentioned, one of the healthiest pitchers, one of the strongest pitchers, most durable. Mark Pryor was just the opposite, though. Remember, coming out of USC,
right.
Flawless mechanics, probably never have serious injuries. And that wasn't the case. You just don't know sometimes.
One of the highest rated pitchers, if I can remember, coming out of a college or high school, you know, that was talked about.
On the ground, shift is on. Turner throws off balance and out at first. Whoa, they may check this one. That was close. Rosario thinks he's safe. Walt Weiss on the phone to the video room.
He'll put it down.
Yeah,
oh, they want to take a look.
That was a quick one. And I think this may get overturned here.
Remember, Ron, you get 2 in the postseason, too. So if it's close. Oh, yeah.
Question is, did his foot hit the bag? Let's see. It was a long stretch here. He was a little off stride. Yeah,
he's safe.
He got it. I mean, that's bang, bang. We're talking about super slow-mo replay and an eyelash here, but
you can tell he got it
before the ball enters the glove. That is one that'll be overturned. Boy, he was flying down the line. 29.4 feet per second. Measure speed and feet per second in baseball. That is elite, upper echelon speed right there.
Now, why it's so big, guys, is the fact that he forced it to get on. Brings Freddie Freeman up.
Because Turner had to go to his right, as they call him safe. He could not get enough on the throw.
So Rosario busting it down the line. Extends the inning for Freddie Freeman. It was a good effort by Turner.
Got to be careful first pitch here if you're Scherzer.
Yeah, a guy that struck out 5 consecutive at-bats. You got a feeling he's going to want to be aggressive. They love him in Atlanta. 2 outs. 3rd inning. On that first pitch. Cuts right through it. Good call, Ronnie.
You just don't see Freeman swing and miss this often. That's the thing that's disturbing.
Well, and I think what Max Scherzer is doing a great job to Freddie Freeman. Usually you see him go the other way. So he knows right now he's kind of stuffing a little bit. What does he do? He's pounding him in. Not giving him a chance to extend.
Scherzer struck out Freeman in the first inning. He's got him 0-2 quickly. Rosario the runner at first. Here's an 0-2. Freeman takes a call. Strike 3. Scherzer wasting no time. Snaps off a slider to strike him out. 6 consecutive Ks for Freddie Freeman. And Scherzer strands a runner at third. He's got 3 scoreless on the board. 2-0 Dodgers. You're watching the 2021 National League Championship Series on TBS. It's presented by Loan Depot. And a man left to his thoughts. Ian Anderson removed from this game for a pinch hitter. 3 innings for Anderson. 2 runs. He will certainly be in play quickly as this series moves to Los Angeles for the middle 3 games. Ronnie, it's Jesse Chavez out of the Atlanta bullpen.
Yeah, inning and 2/3 scoreless ball against Milwaukee in the division series.
Bellinger in the left field. Rosario been busy. Makes the play for out number 1. Continue, Ron.
Chavez with Texas last season. He hasn't been around forever, but close to it. A guy that's been in the big leagues for a long time, is a strike thrower. Did a great job for the Braves after coming over.
You know, look, Ian Anderson, Ron, I'm guessing you wouldn't want to see him smiling on the bench, right? You want, I mean,
you want to see him bitter.
Yeah.
And it's hard to take when you've prepared for 4 or 5 days for a start and 1 bad pitch, first pitch to Seager, and you're out of the game. But you have to look at it this way. The team wins the game. I come back earlier. I get another shot against this team.
Well, the hole for the Braves rotation right now is game 4. They've got Charlie Morton up for game 3. Pollock bounces one. That's a fair ball. Riley fires across the diamond in time. He's got a cannon. And Riley makes a play for out number 2. 2 quick ones here for Jesse Chavez.
Ball's right on the line.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm with you. Whoa.
Okay, just maybe a little left of the line.
Lance Barksdale with that call.
You know, that big body of Riley gets between him and the baseball, and sometimes hard to see.
So here is Max Scherzer with 2 outs. And Chavez a chance at a quick inning here. Scherzer, as competitive as he is, it is a maddening year at the plate for him. He is 0 for 61 all season, plus the postseason. 67 consecutive plate appearances without reaching. He does have 5 sacked bunts and 1 sacked fly, but he cannot get on base.
He hasn't been on base yet this year. It's amazing.
And that's going to continue. Chavez makes a play. Nice quick inning for him. That's a 6-pitch inning for Jesse Chavez. Dodgers down in order. 2-0 LA. Stay tuned for a message brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of MLB. Austin Riley, what a night last night. Our TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. He hit a game-tying homer in the bottom of the 4th and then had the walk-off single in the 9th. Yeah, he'd get a few votes. Ozzie Albies starts it and able to check his swing. So Max Scherzer back to work here. Scherzer with 5 Ks through the first 3 innings. Braves have 2 hits. Singles out of Rosario and Duvall. Scherzer's left them both stranded. A swing and a miss.
You can see Scherzer really throwing some off-speed, pounding Ozzie Albies in. Likes to be aggressive.
His breaking ball more a sweeper tonight. That's the curveball.
He's on his game. That extra day of rest. 1 ball, 1 strike. Albies, little flare coming in. Lux makes the play. That reminds me of your point, Frenchie, in the pregame show. We had a discussion about the anatomy of a 9th inning, and part of the reason why Albies was able to dump that one into center field that kind of started the whole thing in the 9th, the fact that it was the 9th. The Dodgers were so deep playing no doubles. Maybe in a different scenario, like you said, you make that play.
Well, Chris Taylor last night in center field could not get to that ball because of the no doubles.
And then Albies had to steal a second. Riley drove him in to win the game. Dave Roberts said it's going to be a series that's won on the margins. And that's usually the case when you get to this level. And all those little things. Both teams executed well.
Well, every team or organization in baseball is hedging to how to win the most games they can out of 162. But once you get in the postseason, then you have to win it on the edges and the margins.
Game changes.
Yes,
it gets back to a more familiar game. There are bunts. There are sacrifice bunts. Hitting behind runners. Taking extra bases.
The humble approach.
Yeah, the humble approach. That's right. Alex Cora dubbed that phrase back in the 2018 playoff run when the Red Sox won the World Series. And they just picked apart the Houston Astros shifts. 2 balls and a strike. And Riley takes a ball. 3-1 now. Jock Peterson due next.
This is always a good indication if the hitter on the bench or on the on-deck circle. What is Max featuring against a right-hand hitter on a 3-1 count?
In the progression, though, of Austin Riley, he's seeing those pitches.
Yeah,
the way he's taking them, he knows exactly where they are.
See what he has in mind. And he missed. Scherzer on a slider walks Austin Riley. 1 out base runner here for Atlanta with Peterson coming up. Hey, a reminder, you can get your game on at MLBshop.com. Authentic on-field caps, tees, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and wear what the champs wear at official source MLBshop.com.
See how Scherzer attacks Jock Peterson this time around. Last time, quite a few changeups, ended up hanging one. Jock Peterson just missed a home run.
By the way, that's a first walk since Game 4 of the division series for Dodger pitchers. A streak of 95 consecutive plate appearances without a walk. And it ends with a walk of Riley. These are the moments Peterson has thrived in the postseason. First for the Dodgers, and then in the division series with the Braves against Milwaukee. One swing of his bat against Milwaukee was all the Braves needed to secure a win, a 3-run homer. And that one's hit high and deep, way back. Jock Peterson sends it out. We are tied.
Well, there's a reason Dale Murphy wore the pearls tonight.
Pearls of power.
It's Jocktober, 454 feet, 112 off the bat, and Jock Peterson gets sweet revenge on his old team.
That is a wow moment. That was a bomb.
Pearls of wisdom, not missing that curveball.
We talk about some people being built for October. He did that for the Dodgers quite a bit. That's now his 12th postseason home run.
Here's Adam Duvall now. Takes a strike.
Just a hanging curveball right down the middle. Just missed the changeup, pulling it foul. Did not miss that curveball.
Spicy backflip as well from Peterson. He knew it. Got to enjoy that jog all the way around the bases. Oh, had the sound and gone in a flash. Oh. Above the chop house.
Yeah, the top part of it.
3 home runs in this postseason.
Duvall chases one. Peterson's first 2 homers in that Milwaukee series were pinch hit home runs. And he's in the starting lineup now because Jorge Soler is in the COVID protocols right now. He's out. Unclear whether he's going to be able to return or not in the LCS. Peterson put back in the starting lineup. Oh boy, did he just deliver a moment here to tie this game off Max Scherzer.
Ronnie, you get the feeling Max out there on the mound, he's not coming with that fastball as much anymore.
Yeah.
Not off speed.
Sometimes when you're out on the mound, you just don't feel it. You don't feel that fastball, and he's had good breaking stuff, but he made a mistake.
2-2 the count on Duvall. 1 away in the inning. Got him. Scherzer comes right back, picks up a strikeout. Wicked slider. And Duvall, who had singled his last time up, a strikeout victim. Scherzer with 6 now.
Just on the side of that ball, wicked slider that breaks so late against Duvall. You know, sometimes what happens, you fall in love with the game plan. Game plan against this Atlanta Braves team, spin it early and often, and sometimes you forget about one of your best pitches, that 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
2 men are out, bases empty. Here is Travis d'Arnaud. So the Braves have activity in their bullpen. Mentor getting ready now. You saw a brief shot there of Brian Snitker having a chat with his pitching coach Rick Kranitz. So once Peterson hit the homer, there wasn't a whole lot of celebration among those two, and Walt Weiss included, those 3. It's on to the next plan, and every manager is thinking about what happens if we're down, if we're tied, if we're ahead, and the wheel's in motion now with Minter getting ready.
You got to Minter up because the pitcher spot's 3 spots away. They would love to get another inning out of Chavez if they could. So the Atlanta Braves tonight didn't announce it, but they officially had an opener, and now they have a bullpen game.
Yep, that's right. Not by plan, but that's where it's going. d'Arnaud, and nice play by Scherzer. Pounces off the mound, and the inning is over. But Jocktober continues on TBS. A 454-foot homer, the longest of the postseason this year. And it's a 2-2 game in Atlanta.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Loan Depot. Home means everything. And by Geico. Happy Geico-ween. Switch to Geico for more ways to save.
Jock Peterson with Anthony Rizzo's bat, Minnie's pearls, and a 2-run home run to tie this game. Oh, they're out. They're coming out.
I don't think Anthony Rizzo's getting that bat back.
No. And whoever he stole those pearls from, not getting it back either. Mookie Betts will lead off. It is going to be Mentor to enter this game, so that deserves a bit of discussion. Play manager here, and Mentor on. Chavez had a quick 3-up 3-down inning in the 4th inning. Certainly could have gone into this 5th inning, but instead with Betts, Seager, and Turner coming up, it's Mentor.
It's an interesting choice because yes, you could have got another inning out of Chavez, but he decides to go with Minter for a couple of reasons. I don't think he wanted Chavez to face Seager, so he's only going to get 1 out, or at least face 1 hitter in Betts. And A.J. Minter is one of those pitchers that they'd prefer to start an inning. If he has any Achilles heel for A.J., he went through a stretch earlier in his career where control was an issue.
Peterson flips the script. Mentor deals. It feels like, Frenchie, the Braves, they want to run as many left-handed pitchers as they can. They have the ability to do that. The closer is left-handed. Some of their best relievers are left-handed.
Well, I think in years past you've seen if the Dodgers struggle with one thing, it was more left-handers. They crush right-handed pitching, and so I think Brian Snitker's trying to exactly do what you said, B.A.
3 balls, no strikes on Mookie Betts. And that's ball 4. So to your point, Ronnie, command problems. And now Mentor on 4 pitches walks Mookie Betts to start this 5th inning. Let's take a look at today's odds, powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. And we're looking at total runs through the first 7 innings. Right now the line at 6.5, sitting at 4. 2-run homer Corey Seager in the first. 2-run homer Jock Peterson just a moment ago in the bottom of the 4th.
Ronnie, to your mention, A.J. Minter had to go back this year for a month in AAA to work on exactly what you talked about, control.
Now he's got Seager, first ball swinger. And that's in there for a strike. The 4-pitch walk almost puts Seager in automatic take mode, just to see if this pitcher can find his command. That was a cut fastball in there. Betts is a threat to run. A little more challenging against the left-handed pitcher. He's got a big lead, though. 0-1. Seager continues to shine in the postseason. 2-run home run, his first homer of this postseason. Had a hit last night. He's been on twice tonight. Two and 1.
I mean, the Braves really thought they had a gem in Minter his rookie year. Appeared in 65 games. ERA of 3.23, but after that it kind of went south for him, and he's been battling ever since. This year, though, 61 games, 20 walks, and 52 1/3.
Hitters count. Seager breaks his bat, and a pop-up to Riley in foul grounds for out number 1.
That should ease the nerves.
Made a good pitch. Cut fastball. And it sounded like it was right off the end of the bat. Seager choking up. Yeah, look at that. Snap in half. That's the bat that produced a 2-run homer in the first inning. Hitters hate breaking a bat with that kind of damage in it. Here's Trey Turner now. Lined out his last time up. Rosario made a terrific running catch into the gap in left center.
You know, because of the 2-inning start or 3-inning start by Ian Anderson, really the guy in the bullpen that you might be able to get some length from is Drew Smiley, another left-hander that started some games for the Braves this season.
Yeah, big curveball for Smiley, so he can kind of spin it on the Dodgers hitters.
Huge lead.
It's been a one-way lead thus far, but he's out there. Long look. That stays put. Turner takes a ball high. Now Trey Turner is one of the fastest players in the major leagues, but unusually high number of double plays. He bounced into 18 in the regular season, and he's bounced into 2 double plays here in the postseason.
I have to say it every time you say that stat. I just can't believe it. That's how quick he is, but it's happened.
Turner, we talked about measuring speed, and the way it's measured in the game now is feet per second. Rosario on that infield hit 29 plus feet per second. Turner is a 30 feet per second runner, which is in that elite level. Very few get to that number.
And this is where Mentor gets it tough. Betts, big lead over there, but you got to be careful. Trey Turner, 392 against left-handed pitching.
And the pitch way inside. Darno coming all the way across the strike zone to make that play at 96 miles an hour. I tell you, this is where a catcher on one knee can be very risky.
Or vulnerable, right?
Or vulnerable. Yeah, maybe that goes first on the list. Mentor has been wild, but he's also dangerous. He's nasty. Got great stuff. And he misses again. Now 3 balls and a strike.
Ronnie, is this something where you're so worried about Betts that you're kind of losing concentration?
I don't think so. You know, he knows he doesn't have a great move to first base, so he's trying to vary his times to home. But Minter's always been one of those guys, when he's on, he can throw that cutter into righties all day long, but there's other times when it's fleeting.
One out in the inning. Seager broke his bat. Betts a runner at first. Still a big lead, and Mentor, he has not had a firm throw to first base yet. That's the show move.
Well, that's why the lead is so big, is that Mookie Wilson is trying to get him to throw over and see that good move, but I don't think he has one.
10 steals, caught 5 times, and injured this year. A hip injury really slowed him down. But he's healthy now. Swinging a ground ball, foul. Turner got out ahead of one.
I was just thinking of Mookie Betts with that lead at first. If you could think about 70s baseball, he would have 2 feet on the carpet.
That's right. Yeah.
You get the feeling if Mentor had one of those step-off quick moves over there, you probably pick him off. He's got a huge lead, and I got to imagine he's running here.
Gotta go. One out. Guy that bounces into a lot of double plays. He also is the hits leader in the National League, Trey Turner. And there goes Betts, and Turner fouls it into the net. Betts actually broke back to first, then took off. That was not a great jump. If Turner strikes out there, Darno's going to have a good chance to strike him out, throw him out, double play. Check this out. Going back.
This is more, as an athlete, you just got to count on your hitter to put the ball in play, make contact.
Well, that's the thing. You're not trying to steal it off first move here. You're making sure he goes home, and like you said, Ronnie, trust your hitter.
3 infielders on the left side. Albies closest to the bag at second. There he goes again. And a swing and a miss, and Darno can't find a handle. So that'll be a stolen base. Betts steals second. It's a strikeout for Mentor. Turner is out. 2 outs in the 5th.
Well, he gets him here, and to me, it sets it up great if you're Brian Snicker and you really want to, you can take the ball out of Will Smith's hand right here.
I don't think you can ask Minter, with his control issues, to be able to pitch around Smith. So you either trust him to get him out, and if you don't, you pass and go to Lux. Rick Kranitz is going to come out to talk about it. He'll have the decision made already.
And this is where you talk about with Will Smith versus lefties, hitting 231 on the year, righties 276. But lately, Will Smith's been a little better against lefties. Remember the 0-2 against Max Fried yesterday.
Big spot, big decision here with Smith coming up. Play Ball is baseball and softball's initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play the game for all. Find a league near you. Go to playball.org. Follow @playball on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Because of injuries and because of what has transpired for the Dodgers, Max Muncy out, Justin Turner not playing today. Since this postseason has started, their most dangerous hitter is the guy at the plate right now.
The overall numbers against lefties not good. The last couple of months against lefties are good. And you see the splits, and it'll be interesting to see if the Braves are going to play the full season spectrum or if they're going to go recently. 236 average with 8 homers against left-handed pitching. The OPS is much lower, but Smith off a lefty last night, and Max Fried launched one out of there. His 3rd postseason homer, and after all of that, the decision is made to put Will Smith aboard with an intentional walk.
Well, and I think this comes down to, guys, Minter not great with control. So if you're sitting here trying to tell him maybe don't give him something to hit, he hadn't exactly been hitting spots tonight.
That's right.
To me, I think the manager takes it right out of his hands and lets him go against Lux.
And now it is a lefty-lefty matchup. Snitker pouring through the numbers. Minter has issued 2 walks. This one intentional. 2 men are on, 2 outs in a 2-2 game. And Minter hits with a strike. There's that cutter, Ronnie.
That's his pitch. Signature pitch for Minter.
Lux this year 25 at bats against left-handed pitching, 188.
He is a platoon player for the most part. Doesn't start against left-handed starters, of course. Gets an at-bat against a lefty here. And if you're Dave Roberts and you're thinking pinch hit options, I mean, that is a viable option. We are in the middle of the game, though, and you start thinking about right-handed options and availability down later in the game.
You would, but there's 2 outs, and maybe later in the game you might need one of your right-handed hitters, Souza or others, against Matzik if he's in this game, or Will Smith.
2 on, 2 outs, and a ball down and away. Dave Roberts says all the time, when at all possible, I want to be able to control my pinch hit appearances. And I want to have a guy in a game later that's going to be forced into a matchup that we don't want.
And I think this would be a perfect scenario for Justin Turner, but he said he's available, but you really only want him to hit. If he goes in now, you're putting him in a defense for the next 5 innings.
Yeah, good call. Turner's out of the game with a neck injury. Did not start tonight. Here's a 1-1. And did he go? He did. It's a foul ball, actually. It hit Darno. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. A little half swing by Lux. And that caught a piece of Darno. Oh, vulnerable, Ronnie.
Travis d'Arnaud has been more like a hockey goalie back there. That ball foul tipped.
No, that's why one knee is staying up. For that reason alone. You're right. That was number 1 on the list.
Other danger there was he had his hand down in front of him, and that could have been an issue too.
Catchers take a beat.
I wonder how those conversations go. How do you feel, Travis? How do you think I feel?
Same way you feel, you know. Yeah. 1 knee down, you are wide open. Ouch.
Yes. It's easy for you to say. You're the one asking that.
Travis is a tough kid.
Yeah. 2 on. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gavin Lux. He has been the hot hand at the plate for the Dodgers in the last month. Big spot in the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mentor the inside move. Check it on Mookie Betts.
Now with the left-hander up, there's not going to be a chance of a double steal here. What Minter is trying to do, keep Mookie close enough in case there's a base hit, gives his outfielders a small chance.
I was going to say, with Mookie Betts running, I don't care. He could stand on the base. I think he's scoring.
Tiny chance there.
Betts and Smith aboard. And in the air left field, easing over Rosario. Minter, a pump of the fist. He's out of the inning. It was a bit of a ride, but he puts up a 0 in the 5th. Works around 2 walks. Game still tied at 2. Ice Trey in the building. Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. Don't forget NBA opening night presented by Kia. It returns to TNT. Giannis and the Bucks, the defending champs. KD and the Nets. That's followed by Stephen Curry and the Warriors against LeBron and the Lakers. Tuesdays on TNT. You can see the Hawks on TNT Thursday night when they host Luka Magic and the Dallas Mavericks. State Farm Arena. It was rocking last year. Had a great run, did the Atlanta Hawks. Well, looking forward to the NBA starting up Tuesday. Dansby Swanson will start it for Atlanta. Looks like a pinch hitter next. Orlando Arcia has already moved on deck. Shift is on for Swanson. 2-2 game in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swanson up the middle and a base hit. That up the middle approach. Swanson with his first hit of the NLCS.
Guys, you remember last at bat, 3-2 to Swanson. Scherzer did a great job of running one in, but he tried to go to right field. This time shoots it right back up the middle, right of Scherzer. Scherzer almost made that play. Talking about the humble baseball. They're giving you 120 feet, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Take advantage.
Especially leading off an inning.
There is Orlando Arcia. He is an excellent bunter. I'm not sure if it calls for it here, but he's been known to bunt for a number of hits. And he's up there hacking. Big rip by Arcia. Swung and a miss. Came to the Braves from the Brewers. Was the Brewers starting shortstop to start the year. And it's been a good chunk of the year in AAA. Gwinnett on the LCS roster, and he's up in a big spot. This guy has delivered in the postseason in the past. He's got a little bit of that clutch gene in him, Orlando Arcia.
He really does, and in his career 3 for 5 off Scherzer.
Vesia, the left-hander, getting ready. Figure he'd be up for Rosario and Freeman. Those two do next. There's a bunt, and it's a strike.
Well, you either bunt for a base hit or you sacrifice yourself. That was neither.
And I always like doing it on that first pitch. It gives yourself a little better of a chance. Now all of a sudden you're facing one of the best pitchers in baseball, and you're 0-2.
Arcia has hit 4 postseason homers in his career. And a wave and a miss. Scherzer wipes him out with that slider. So he did go for the bunt. Bunted right through it. Scherzer comes back to strike him out. 7th K. And with 1 out, on his way to the mound, Dave Roberts. We're in the 5th inning here.
Dave Roberts took out Max Scherzer. In this same instance, 4 1/3 in the wild card. Is he doing it again? Yes.
Yes, he is.
After pitching up 2 days rest, after leaving and getting the save in Game 5 against the Giants.
Scherzer was shocked in the wild card game. Roberts went for the ball. Max shook his hand. This time he gives him the ball. 79 pitches. He's out. Into the bullpen go the Dodgers in a 2-2 game. Vesia is in.
Be reproduced or retransmitted in any form form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Boy, got another good one tonight. Game 2 of this NLCS. Max Scherzer, who has been a workhorse this postseason. He is out after 4 1/3. Dave Roberts removed him in the 5th inning in the wild card game. Went to Joe Kelly for that matchup. With back-to-back lefties scheduled to hit, Ronnie, it's going to be Alex Vesia.
Yeah, and then he took out Walker Buehler after 4 1/3 in Game 4 of the division series. Brought Joe Kelly in, this time Alex Vesia in against the left-handed hitting Rosario.
Rosario reached on an infield hit his last time up. Runner at first base. Swanson, and a strike from Vesia.
Vesia likes his fastball. He's got a good one.
See, the shift is on. Can make for a bit of an awkward double play. Trey Turner will have to sprint to the bag on a ground ball to the right side. And Rosario very fast. Double plays are unlikely. Did he go? He did. Called by Jordan Baker behind the plate, and it's 0-2.
We've seen both managers now make a tough decision. Brian Snitker pulled Ian Anderson, and now you see after 80 pitches, BA, Doc Roberts go out there and take out Max Scherzer.
As mad as Scherzer was in the wild card game, it was almost a nod of approval about this pitching change here. He's been pitching a lot. He started the wild card game. He started Game 3 in the division series. Ronnie, he closed out Game 5 in the division series and then back up here for Game 2.
So it was 2 times in 2 days rest he had to take the mound. So that's why he's out of this game early.
He'll be heard from plenty more in this series. Rosario late fouls it away. That was right down the middle. Rosario couldn't get to that 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Vesia's only hiccup was the home run he gave up to Brandon Crawford in Game 2 of the division series. That was a first pitch breaking ball.
And that's what I think. If you go back to that 4th inning, it just started to spin a little bit, and you get the feeling he might have been getting a little tired. And their bullpen did a great job last night.
0-2 the count, and a check on the runner at first, Swanson. That was.
Vesia's going to have to watch out. He did not really even attempt to step towards first base. I don't know what umpire would be brave enough to call a balk on him, but that was close.
It's that imaginary line you draw, a 45-degree angle between home and first. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Rosario. The Dodgers bullpen is elite. It's been one of the best bullpens all year. They were all used yesterday, it felt like. Unloaded the bullpen last night. Brusdar Graterol did not pitch. That would be a major weapon for Dave Roberts. Their bullpen 32 1/3 innings thus far in the postseason. This is their 8th game. That ball's ripped into center field. Rosario with a base hit. Swanson made the big turn. He retreats to second base. That was some piece of hitting by Rosario. Stayed right on the fastball. And the Braves are in business in the 5th with 2 on and 1 out.
Rosario hits lefties actually better than he does righties, and he stays on that pitch really nice up the middle and lines it right back.
Opponent's batting average off Vesia this year, 126. Rosario didn't know that number.
2 on, 1 away. Scherzer's runner Swanson at second. And now Rosario with blinding speed at first base. Freddie Freeman. 7 consecutive strikeouts for Freeman following his game-winning home run in Game 4 of the division series against Josh Hader. Boy, who knows? I mean, facing a left-handed pitcher, maybe that allows Freeman to stay in there. He's good against lefties as well.
Well, you would think so, but what they keep doing to him, same thing that Scherzer did. Now, everything's in, BA. They're not letting him get extended to punch that ball, and exactly what Freddie Freeman's probably trying to do right now, punch it the other way.
Freeman's swing is hiding from him right now. He's been missing badly. The 1-0. Freeman in the air, left field. Long run. Pollock at the track, and he runs into the wall. It's up into the seats. Pollock goes crashing into that side wall. There is only about 3 or 4 feet from the line to the wall down there in the corner. Fortunate Freddie Freeman.
Well, he's trying to climb the wall at some point. Just the immovable object.
It's one of those that looks, when he's running after it, like he's got a beat on. He's going to catch it, and just kept slicing foul on him, and he ran out of room.
Just fortunate it didn't injure a wrist.
Good sign for Freeman, though. He's got tremendous power to left center and left field.
That was where his home run went off Hader to left center. 2 on, 1 out. 2-2 game. Bottom of the 5th. Once you get past the lefties, Joe Kelly. Ozzie Albies due next is a switch hitter, but every manager in baseball would rather Albies bat left-handed than right. We'll see if Roberts does that with Vesia. Got to face 3 batters.
That's where the Brian Snitker putting Ozzie Albies BA behind him with that 3-batter rule comes into play. That 3-batter rule has changed the whole dynamic of games.
Chance of Freddie raining down. 2 on, 1 away. Swing and a miss. Right down the heart. 2-2 the count.
It's those pitches that are fastballs down the middle that you see no contact from Freeman. That's just astounding. You just don't see that during the regular season or any type of season.
But his eyes are telling him the swing is not getting there.
It's late.
2-2.
Timeout here. You got to call a long time here for Freeman to stand in there.
Vesia deals. Freeman fouls it into the seats again. Well, Freddie Freeman punching out 6 consecutive times, trying to avoid a 7th here. 0 for 4 yesterday with 4 Ks. First time that ever happened in a postseason for Freddie Freeman, and he has struck out the first 2 times up.
If you saw that sequence, so in, out, they're up, down, they're changing his eye level, these Dodgers relievers, and doing a great job. And you can see that Freddie making a conscious effort to try to shoot it to left field.
Dodgers set up to turn a double play as well. 2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. 7 in a row. 7 consecutive Ks for Freddie Freeman. Boy, the frustration mounting, and the big Braves bat is gone. 2 outs in the inning.
That wasn't even a good slider. It was really the change of pace that got him.
That slider right there is almost the exact same pitch he hit off Josh Hader to left center.
So behind the fastball and ahead of the breaking ball is Freeman right now. In between, no good for major league hitters.
From the mountaintop in the division series, a game winner. You cannot find it here in the LCS. As Mark Pryor going through it with Ozzie Albies coming up.
I think he's probably telling Vesia, look, Ozzie Albies is an aggressive hitter. 8 homers on the first pitch. You can't just lay one in there at 94, 95. Ozzie Albies, a small guy, 2nd in extra base hits in the National League with 77 behind Bryce Harper.
So many Braves offensive players have had magical years. You expect all of them at some point to get a hit when the game is on the line.
So the 3rd batter faced here for Vesia. Scherzer got the first out. Arcia, the pinch hitter. Rosario with a base hit. 2 men are on. Swanson, the runner at second. He carries the go-ahead run. And Albies takes a ball.
28 go-ahead RBIs by Albies this year. Tied for first with Nolan Arenado.
You pour through the lineups. Every spot in the order has its purpose. The back-to-back lefties at the top, and now Albies. And Brian Snitker has the matchup he wants. A left-handed pitcher with Albies from his better side, the right side at the plate.
Big spot for this young left-hander.
Swing and a miss. Vesia throwing hard, 95-mile-an-hour gas. And 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Albies. There's a spray chart. Pull hitter, dead pull, as Frenchie mentioned. Albies was the hits leader in the National League 2 years ago. Scored the winning run last night. The 1-1. 1-2 now.
Well, Albies from the left side is a straight pull, dead pull hitter. Why he hits the higher average on the right side, guys? Look at the home runs from the right side. Right center, center, left center. Will hit it anywhere, whereas from the right side, he's a pull hitter.
Saw this many times in the postseason. Bellinger, most recently in Game 5. Don't need a home run. Don't need an extra base hit. Need a base hit. You'll take the others.
Meanwhile, Vesia trying to put the lid back on it here in the 5th inning. 1-2 the count. 2 on for Atlanta. And Vesia deals. Albies takes a ball. Close pitch. 2-2 now.
Almost no doubt in my mind that Ozzie Albies, if he decided just to be a right-handed hitter, would be a 300 hitter. That's how good he is from the right side. Ball just misses.
Definitely better back control from the right side, better eye.
He's in a 2-2 count now. Spoils and foul. Last year in the NLCS against the Dodgers, Albies had a good series. That was in the Texas bubble in Arlington. Had 9 hits. Had 4 runs batted in. He also popped a couple of home runs last season against LA. That was a thrilling series. Went 7 games. Dodgers on a Cody Bellinger home run in the 7th. Won that Game 7 and would go on to win the World Series against the Rays. Braves won last night. 2-2 game tonight here in Game 2. Both of those homers in the LCS last year as a left-handed batter. Here's a 2-2 again, and a swing at him is Vesia. A big strikeout, and emotion just pouring out of the left-hander. Vesia gets through the 5th, gives up a single to the first batter he faced, and he struck out Freeman, struck out Albies. 2-2 game. We go to the 6th in Game 2. DraftKings is the best place to get in on the MLB action with daily fantasy sports betting and free-to-play pools. All postseason, you can play in free late-inning pools for a swing at over $50,000 in prizes. Use promo code HEAT when you sign up today. So the Braves go back to their pen now. Jacob Webb, and a swing and miss from Chris Taylor starts the inning. We're in the 6th. It is a 2-2 game.
So both sides are asking zeros from the part of their bullpens that are not those 7, 8, and 9 inning pitchers.
A.J. Minter works around a couple of walks, puts up a 0. Taylor swing and a miss again. It's 0-2. All these National League managers in the postseason imploring their offense to be more patient, start to deliver in the clutch. But these pitching staffs are tough, especially the Braves and the Dodgers, who make their way to the LCS.
Well, the Braves really have used heavy Tyler Matzik, Luke Jackson, Will Smith. Dave Roberts had to feel great about getting Ian Anderson out of the game at third and getting this middle part of the pen. But tip your hats. The middle part of the pen for the Braves is holding up.
Roberts taking the ball from Max Scherzer. Vesia comes on to clean it up as Taylor fouls it away. Scherzer went 4 1/3. 4 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. It was one swing of Jock Peterson's bat. Peterson, who homered off Scherzer back when he was a Dodger and Scherzer was a National, 2019. And he got him again, and it tied the game at 2. Corey Seager hit a 2-run home run for LA in the first.
Webb has got a good fastball. Changeup is his out pitch.
Taylor hanging in there. And there is Matzik. This run of left-handers.
It's a race for these two teams to catch a lead, and as soon as they catch a lead, the big boys are coming in.
Saw Charlie Morton there having a chat with Ian Anderson. Morton will be the game 3 starter. Walker Buehler, the game 3 starter for LA. That one is high for a ball.
What a job by Alex Vesia for the Dodgers. Young left-hander. Come in and relieve the great Scherzer and protect this tie. Boy, he's got some life on that fastball.
You could tell the way Freddie Freeman and Ozzie Albies both were swinging at those fastballs late life.
2-2 the count. In the dirt. We were keeping an eye on Freddie Freeman there between innings as well, and boy, the body language is not good. I mean, he's searching right now, Frenchie. This is a hitter that has had one of the best moments of the postseason. He can't find it.
Well, and that's the thing. You go from the highest to highs, sending your team to the NLCS, to 0 for 7 with 7 strikeouts when you're one of the best at putting the ball in play.
He's going to have another moment in this game. Taylor slows the bat down, fouls it away. That was a changeup from Webb.
Jeff, you were here. It wasn't exactly an easy April for Freddie Freeman this year.
Really, first 6 weeks of the season, hitting under 200. A lot of that, he will tell you, he'll say it's not because of it, but contract, different things, worried about. But he picked it up as the season went on. Had a great second half.
Free agent to be Freddie Freeman. 3-2 pitch, and that one is high for a ball. So Taylor, who got down 0-2, draws a leadoff walk. And again, the Dodgers have a lead man on. That's the 4th time tonight they've had a leadoff batter reach. 4th time in 6 innings. Only one of those runners has scored. And now Webb to work with some traffic here, and Cody Bellinger coming up.
What's it like to play in the postseason and to hit in the postseason? 3rd time up from Bellinger. 3rd pitcher he's faced.
Faced Ian Anderson, his first at bat. He lined out, hit the ball sharply to center. And then it was Chavez next time up. Now he gets Webb. Runner goes. Taylor. And the pitch is low. Throw to second. On the bag. He's safe. That was a risky play by Swanson as he takes the throw behind the runner. If that hits Taylor, caroms into the outfield, it's easy third base for Taylor.
Got a great job. You're seeing both these teams take advantage. They're running.
Mistake there to not throw over at least once. Both teams trying to take advantage.
T-Mobile base cam.
Jacob Webb hasn't pitched in 2 weeks since the 2nd of October.
Dodgers with 2 steals. And they ball away. 2-0 to Bellinger. Clayton Kershaw feeling it in there. He's got an elbow injury. We talked to Clayton before the game. Says he is hopeful and feels good about the fact that there will be no surgery required, at least at this point. But he will not be available for the postseason. An elbow injury in the last week of the year. Tough break for him. 3-0 now.
One of Webb's best weapons is the changeup. Has not been able to throw it for strikes. Problem when you have these bullpen games is tied score like this. You're asking each and every guy to come in to be perfect. No one can make a mistake.
And with guys the middle part of the bullpen, Ronnie, that don't have the experience, haven't been in these situations enough, and right now you got a runner at second, no outs, and a 3-0 count.
Saw Rick Kranitz there with Walt Weiss working out the details before they recommend a plan for Brian Snitker. Ooh, Bellinger in the air, center field, just off the end of the bat. Taylor's going to tag at second. Catch is made. Strong throwing arm from Duvall, but Taylor is in there. That's a productive out, but it is an out for Webb. But now the Dodgers have the go-ahead run 90 feet away with just 1 out. That stolen base paying dividends for LA.
Constructive at bat there by Bellinger. Just too deep, Frenchie, in center field, even though Duvall has a great arm.
And it was kind of awkward. He could never get really behind it enough to be able to get anything on it. And Taylor's got great speed.
Watch the end of this play. Third base coach Dino Ebel. Barely caught him in the picture there. Watch him. There he goes. Get down. I'm down. You get down.
It's one of the great third base coaches in the game. Infield end. And that one misses low.
Well, here we are in the 6th inning tonight. 2-2. Runner at third, 1 out. Last night, guys, 7th inning when Tyler Matzik got the big out from Mookie Betts.
Yeah, the pop up to Freddie Freeman.
Yep.
Pollock up there with 1 out. Just a medium deep fly ball will be deep enough to score Taylor. Matt Beatty is on deck. And he will hit for Vesia. Infield end. Swing and a miss. Webb went back to the change of pace. And a ball and a strike on Pollock. Good look at the grip. That circle change.
Might be the best one he's thrown tonight. 307 with runners in scoring position for Pollock. 1 for 4 this postseason.
It's been an area of concern for the Dodgers. Had one big game in the DS against the Giants, game 2, where they were 6 for 15. They scored 9 runs on 11 hits in that game. But the rest of the postseason, just 6 for 47. They're hitting just 128 outside of that second game. And a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Back to the changeup for Webb. Well, he's delivered a couple when he's needed it.
Even though the infield's in, the actions to me by Chris Taylor at third base, he's coming on contact. Webb is hoping there won't be any.
He's going to try to throw that changeup, and what he's hoping for is swing and a miss or ground ball.
1-2 the count. Go ahead run at third for the Dodgers. And nice play back there by Darno. Went back to the changeup.
Strikeouts come for pitchers because you get ahead of a hitter and you know you can put them away with a certain pitch. But there's certain circumstances where you got to have it. You just got to have it when you're ahead.
Throwing him a lot of changeups right here.
Yeah.
Do you take a chance with that elevated fastball?
That's 4 in a row. Every pitch he's thrown him in this at bat has been the change of pace. Here's a 2-2. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. 5 changeups in a row. And Pollock is gone for out number 2. Circle that at bat right there. That was a huge swing.
Tells you the strength of that pitch. The ability to be able to throw 5 straight to a good hitter like Pollock and still get the strikeout. What pitching by Webb.
Matt Beatty announced as the pinch hitter, a lefty. And Brian Snitker will take the ball from Webb. Walk the first batter, gets the next 2. Lefty on lefty matchup. What a game. Another one here in game 2. Presented by Progressive. 2 big swings in this game. Corey Seager, a 2-run blast in the first inning off Ian Anderson. And then Jock Peterson, an answer, a 2-run shot, 454 feet. That tied the game in the 4th, and that's where we are. The Dodgers threaten. They have a runner at 3rd and 2 outs. And the left-hander Tyler Matzek is on to pitch.
Pitched the 7th inning in last night's ball game. Probably picked to get the most important out of his career here.
Beatty was announced as a pinch hitter. He's pulled back. They burn him. Albert Pujols will stand in for Los Angeles. A career .333 pinch hitter. Pujols hit .359 as a pinch hitter this year, and often against left-handed pitching. The great Albert.
Between his 2 stops in Los Angeles, Angels and the Dodgers, 13 home runs against left-handed pitching.
Taylor the runner at 3rd, and Pujols tracks one in for a strike. 41-year-old Albert Pujols, 25 games with the Angels to start. Last 85 of the regular season as a member of the Dodgers.
Does he have one more big swing in him?
No balls and a strike. A swing and a miss. And a good block back there by d'Arnaud. Smothered that one. Taylor was on his toes to try to score on a wild pitch. Great play.
Great block by d'Arnaud. He kept it out in front. But because a left-handed pitcher is pitching, because Riley is playing as deep as he is, Taylor can come down 30, 40 feet if he wants.
That's a go-ahead run. 6th inning. Matzek against Pujols. Here's the 0-2. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Just want to point out that brick wall behind home plate. That is a very short distance from home plate to that back wall. And sometimes on wild pitches, you'll get a big carom right back to the plate.
Tyler Matzek, 6 playoff games for the Atlanta Braves, 6th appearance.
Riding him hard. He has been the horse of this Braves bullpen. Here's a 1-2. Pujols fouls it away. Moment in time. We take you back to 2005. Game 5, October 17th. Albert Pujols against Brad Lidge. Boom. 3-run home run.
Still hasn't come down.
No. Up on the tracks. One of his signature moments in the postseason. He's got 19 postseason home runs, Albert Pujols. Dodgers just hoping for a base hit out of him. Go ahead run at 3rd. And a swing and a miss. Matzek strikes him out.
Season on TBS is brought to you by Jim Beam. Take a time out from beer with the Beam and Ginger Highball. And by Progressive Insurance. Saving you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.
This game remind you of anything? It's 2-2. It was a 3-2 Braves win last night. We're tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Braves are coming up, and Ronnie, it's going to be Joe Kelly out of the Dodger pen.
Well, he's certainly going to have something to do with it. Thrown awfully hard like he always does. His control with his curve and his changeup has been impeccable in the postseason.
Joe Kelly with a scoreless inning last night, couple of Ks, and he deals Austin Riley strike 1.
That's the big thing. When you face Joe Kelly, if he's in the zone with that sinker curveball, he's tough.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
He threw 12 pitches last night to get through an inning, and 8 of them for strikes, 2 Ks in the inning. And if there's any doubt what Dave Roberts thinks of Joe Kelly, just look at the batters he's going to face right here. Riley, Peterson, Adam Duvall, the wheelhouse of the Braves batting order right now. Riley walked and scored. He was on when Jock Peterson went deep in the 4th. And that one's in there for a strike.
Well, if you want to know what the Dodgers think of Joe Kelly, if you remember in 2018 with the Red Sox, dominated the Dodgers in the World Series. So what did the Dodgers do? Hey, let's bring him to us.
Joe Kelly been a starter. Was a starter with the Cardinals. Was a Game 1 starter in the postseason with St. Louis. Thriving in the bullpen these last few years with the Dodgers. And Riley asked for time, is granted time. 24-year-old Mississippi native Austin Riley. His first ever walk-off in the big leagues came last night. He's had some postseason moments already. Here's the 1-2. Kelly has a great curveball. Jock Peterson due next.
It's a knuckle curve type BA, and it's about 89 to 90.
Yeah, gas. Those are hard.
Great arm action on all his pitches to make them look the same, to make them look nasty.
He wants.
You saw that fastball inside last night. What happened to it?
That was a great sequence right there. So he shook off the curveball twice, but just wanted a number of shakeoffs to get around to it. And he gets it, and down goes Riley. I mean, that was a great sequence. Instead of the quick nod of approval, he goes through the whole sequence twice, lands on the curve, and picks up a strikeout to start the inning.
Perfect pitch, right on the corner, playing high, advanced, gambit, chess was Joe Kelly right there.
And I feel like there's such a connection with catcher and pitcher there. Ultimately, Will Smith knows he wants to come back around to the curveball.
Most pitchers, when they shake 3 or 4 times, you know what's coming? The fastball.
Yeah. Here's Jock Peterson. Kelly struck him out last night. This was the window that Kelly entered. Peterson, Duvall, and d'Arnaud. And retired the side in order with those 2 strikeouts.
So Jock hit that changeup foul early. He hit that breaking ball from Max for that long home run. So you would think if you're coming in as a pitcher, you want to be firm. Stay away from the slow stuff, or at least slow stuff for strikes.
Takes a strike. Changeup. Two-2 game. Tense game 2. Just as it was yesterday for game 1. Peterson pulls it foul. Well, Jock Peterson is 3 home runs. StatCast powered by Google. Against Milwaukee, pinch hit opposite field homer, and then that 3-run home run that went 402, and then the longest home run of this postseason for any player. Jock Peterson 454, 2-run blast off Scherzer in the 4th.
And making them count in big moments. The home run against the Brewers to put them up 3-0. This one to tie the game 2-2.
12 postseason homers for Jock Peterson. Kelly's got him down 1 ball 2 strikes. And step off.
Joe tosses it down on the rubber.
Never afraid to show his emotions on the mound.
Usually they take that ball out of play, don't they?
I'll say if you asked, I bet they'd make them.
Kelly now in his 3rd year as a Dodger. Had a terrific year. 2.86 ERA, appeared in 48 games. Right back to him. Kelly makes a play, a little stare down of Jock Peterson before he puts him out for out number 2. Big bat missing for Atlanta that we've touched on. Lauren Shahadi is Ronald Acuna Jr. And the Braves have just played well ever since he went out.
Yeah, I was just thinking, though, how much they do miss his bat, even though they've played well. There was no way to fill the void, right, when he tore the ACL in mid-July. At the time, he was leading the NL in WAR, top 5 in baseball, home runs, stolen bases, runs, you name it. Overhauled their outfield, Jock, a part of it. But what a loss and what a talent, a once-in-a-generation type talent.
It's crazy to think that a superstar like Ronald Acuna could go out, and since then, they would lead the NL in runs. I think a credit to the rest of the guys on the team stepping up. Alex Anthopoulos going out getting the outfielders that he got. But look, Ronald Acuna, when he went out, it was a 2-horse race for the MVP, him and Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, I agree.
But to go out and get Peterson and Soler and Duvall and Rosario, strength in numbers.
Yep. Totally remade the Braves outfield. Duvall, one of those big pieces, coming back to Atlanta from Miami. The 1-0 pitch and a swing and a foul. Don't forget Braves losing Marcell Ozuna as well, and his legal troubles. That has been a constant discussion. He was excellent for Atlanta last year. Travis d'Arnaud missed a lot of time with that thumb injury. I think every team has certainly had their fair share of injuries. They could all make the same claim. Dodgers are without Max Muncy and Clayton Kershaw, but it's how you respond to those injuries that get you to this point.
Soroka missed a pitch there. Sometimes in the post, you only get one in at bat.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Duvall in the air, left field routine for Pollock. Just got out ahead of it, and Pollock will put it away. And Joe Kelly puts up another 0 in the postseason. 3 up, 3 down with a K. We go to the 7th in a 2-2 game. You're watching the 2021 National League Championship Series on TBS. It's presented by Loan Depot. Got another great game going here tonight. Game 2. 2-2 game. It's been that way since the 4th. Jock Peterson hit a 2-run homer to tie it. Corey Seager a 2-run homer in the 1st. Matzek back out there. Mookie Betts will start this 7th inning for LA. And Matzek misses outside.
In the 6th game of Game 5 against the Giants, Mookie took over in the 6th inning with a base hit and a stolen base to get in scoring position. Can he do it in the 7th here against Matzek?
Yeah, Betts had a 4-hit game in Game 5. Has a hit and a walk tonight, does Betts, and that one's upstairs for a ball. Matzek struck out Albert Pujols to end the 6th inning. So because he comes back here in the 7th, he has to face 2 batters, and that's all by design for Brian Snitker. Next man up is Corey Seager, the left-handed bat, so you'll probably see him for those 2 only. Braves did have the option of taking him out after the 6th inning. He's been their best option. Luke Jackson. He'll be next. He'll be up for Trey Turner. Due up 3rd this inning. 3-0 pitch. Betts takes a strike.
All season long, the Braves have used Tyler Matzek, Luke Jackson, 7th, 8th. Interchangeable depending on where you're at in the lineup.
To get 9 outs.
Yep.
Matzek averaging 11 strikeouts per 9 innings this season. 69 games. A workhorse. And Betts, he goes, called anyway, I think. 95 with a fastball. Ronnie, the combination of the fastball and the slider for Matzek.
When you watch it and you watch him pitch, especially against Pujols with that strikeout, they start in about the same place and then crisscross. One stays true and the other one disappears.
Betts in the air, fouls it away.
Well, you get the feeling the way this game's going. The Braves have their part of the bullpen they want.
Yeah.
Dave Roberts has his part of the bullpen that he wants. It might come down to one big hit again.
One big hit, or who can manufacture a run.
Yep.
On the margins. Managers are grinding right now. Grinding. 3-2 to Betts. It was 3-0. Let's see what Matzek has in mind. He deals it, and Betts fouls it away. Cannot get to that fastball. That's when you know the fastball is extra special from Matzek. Mookie Betts is one of the best velocity fastball hitters in the game. And that's 97 right down the middle, a middle fastball, and he's late on it.
Well, and one thing he's got in the back of his mind, BA, is that slider. He saw him throw it to Pujols to strike him out. You got to respect that pitch also.
Here it comes.
Shook off the fastball for the slider. 3-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss.
Foul ball.
Or foul. There you go. Thank you, Ronnie. Just got a piece. And the count stays 3-2 by the slimmest of margins.
It's these kinds of foul balls by the great hitters that stay in at bats that are just truly amazing at times.
That's why they're the great hitters. They foul that off to see another pitch.
That's the sequence. 6 straight fastballs, and then he just fouled off the slider. Pitch number 9 coming to Betts. Lead man up for the Dodgers in the 7th.
Man, what a battle going on here.
Right. It'll be at least 10 pitches.
One of the best left-handed relievers in baseball against one of the top hitters.
Big breath by Matzek. Concentration by Mookie. Mano a mano.
Betts has the most hits among the Dodgers this postseason. 12. Back to the gas. The 10th pitch of the at-bat. And he missed. And it's ball 4. Mookie Betts is aboard. And a man is on. And Matzek, with his excellent repertoire, has the go-ahead run aboard.
This just tells you how great the at-bat by Betts is, because this is what you have to account for. The fastball stays true. Watch the slider. Change places with that fastball. Crisscross.
Wow.
Got a 15-mile-per-hour difference.
And Mookie worked the walk.
10-pitch walk.
So here's Corey Seager now. Dodgers have another leadoff man aboard. 5th time tonight. Seager a swing and a foul.
Left-hander in the game is going to semi-neutralize Mookie Betts on the stolen base. Matzek does not have a good move, though.
Betts has been on 3 times of the 7 innings for the Dodgers at the plate. 5 times they've had the lead man on. Betts is the only man to score. Seager with that 2-run homer in the 1st with Betts aboard.
That's Clayton McCullough, the first base coach, whispering in Betts' ear.
Saw that slider to Seager first pitch.
Mookie sounded more interested in talking to Freddie Freeman.
Freddie's going through his hitting woes with Mookie.
Freddie's asking, you got any advice?
Work a walk.
Mookie's such a nice guy. He's like, yeah, hang in there, Fred. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count.
2 sliders in a row. Why? Corey Seager, 369 off the fastball. Hammers him.
He does have a couple of hits against Matzek, just 4 career at-bats, but a double and a homer off Matzek.
Sometimes as a runner you can picture a breaking ball in the dirt, and this is a chance to steal a base.
And there he goes. And a swing and a miss. Throw to second. No chance. A strikeout of Seager, but a stolen base for Betts.
That's just incredible intelligence by an intelligent player. He's seen that Seager swung the bat through 2 sliders. Of course, what's Matzek going to throw?
Yep.
Huge jump. No chance for Darno.
Yeah, for the Dodgers, it's kind of a mixed bag. You get the strikeout, but you get the guy in scoring position.
Third stolen base for LA. Lux, Taylor, and now Betts. Our T-Mobile base cam, the leader in 5G coverage. 4 stolen bases, I beg your pardon. 3 different players. Mookie Betts has 2 steals. And now Turner takes a strike. Trey Turner. He's got the collar tonight. A couple of Ks. He did line out in the 3rd inning. Hit the ball sharply to left. Remember that catch Rosario made in the gap. Braves outfield very deep. 2-2 game. Go ahead, run at second. Turner fouls it away.
So if Matzek can retire Trey Turner here, the same thing that happened earlier. You can walk Will Smith and lefty with Lux coming up against Matzek.
And then you see a second time, what does Dave Roberts do? You're a little later in the game now. Do you go to a guy, Justin Turner?
I would think you would, which would bring in Jackson.
Saw Luke Jackson loosening. But Brian Snitker wants Matzek for Trey Turner. Chris Martin also getting ready in the Atlanta pen. 0-2 the count. 1 away. And he goes. Got to secure it at first. Darno does. And out number 2. Another dirt ball by Darno. Keeps it in front. Matzek picks up back-to-back Ks. Seager and Turner. 2 men are out, but Betts still at second base.
That slider. You got Albert Pujols to end the 6th inning, and another great one on a great hitter, Trey Turner.
Great, all thinking about it. Okay, intentional walk. Yep. The numbers are not good for the entire year, but if you look at the last couple of months, they've been very good for Smith. So you make this move and you bring in Mr. Postseason for the Dodgers.
Well, and for me, Max Muncy's usually that guy I'm not going to let beat. It turns over to Will Smith the way he's swinging.
Right. Well, Smith, second intentional walk, 4th time on base, and Dave Roberts is going to play his card. Justin Turner coming off the Dodger bench. Dave Roberts said he'd have 1 at-bat in him. He won't play defense, or at least he'd try to avoid that scenario. He's out of the starting lineup today with a stiff neck. He could not turn to the right. Doesn't affect him so much at the plate because he's looking left. He was really nagging at the neck yesterday. I mean, this was before the game. It was bothering him. He played in the game. Just been something that's been bugging him, and instead of rolling him back out there, Dave Roberts decided to just give him today out of the starting lineup and then give him a full day off.
So Snitker comes out now, and he's going to make the move righty and righty with Luke Jackson and double switch with Heredia. Duvall out of the game.
Asking Jackson to get this out, and then also the 8th inning.
Pitching change. 2-2 game. Dodgers have 2 on with 2 outs, and here comes Luke Jackson. Guillermo Heredia takes over for Duvall in center field. Duvall is out. Luke Jackson is in for the matchup against Justin Turner, who Dave Roberts sent to the plate, announced as the pinch hitter. Those are the numbers for Jackson. They are stellar, Ron.
71 games, 59 times he made appearances that were scoreless. Look at that ERA. And he has been one of the weapons for Brian Snitker coming down the stretch with Matzek, who was impeccable in his relief outing. And, of course, their closer, Will Smith.
Betts and Smith aboard. How about the move for Snitker going with Heredia, Duvall out?
Well, you want to keep Jock Peterson's bat in the game, so you put in Heredia, and it sounds kind of crazy because it's a tie ball game, but you get better defensively, definitely a center fielder.
And also the third place hitter for the Braves coming up will be the pitcher's spot. So you did not want to take Jackson out of this game. He's going to have to get outs in the 8th, I believe.
Wheels in motion here. What a game. 7th inning, game 2. Go ahead run at second base in the speedy Betts. Smith at first. Justin Turner at the plate. It bounces in. Man, what a play by d'Arnaud. Oh my goodness.
We've seen both catchers, Will Smith and d'Arnaud, with the scoop, backhanded scoop.
This is next level.
That's the old I don't want to hang the first pitch. I'm throwing to him.
This gets you the big toy at the carnival if you can do that.
Justin Turner has not had a pinch hit at bat in the postseason since 2014. The reason, because he had 77 consecutive starts in the postseason. As a pinch hitter this year, 2 for 10. This is just an unfamiliar role is the point here. A .260 career pinch hitter. And he's matching up against Luke Jackson.
Who does Dave Roberts count on? He counts on people like Justin Turner.
Been there, done that.
Dodgers franchise leader in postseason homers. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he hit him. Jackson hits Turner. And the bases are loaded now for the Dodgers. Turner was hit by a pitch in Game 5 against the Giants. That set up Bellinger's heroics.
Right.
And now they are full. And that one drilled him. Yeah, got that pad. Fortunate to have that pad on. And Jackson just trying to get some moisture on his hands on this cool night in Atlanta.
Well, let's face it, if we're talking about facts, the fact is that Justin Turner has struggled so far in the postseason, and Chris Taylor's been one of the best hitters to rely on for these Dodgers.
He's already had a moment in the wild card game, and with the bases loaded in his career, a .361 hitter with 4 salamis. And he takes a strike. Jackson pours one down the middle. Dodgers have been knocking at the door seemingly in every inning. They've stranded 7.
Can't count on that backhand pick from d'Arnaud on another curveball in the dirt. Can't count on it.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. And in the air to center field, coming on fast. Heredia cannot get it, and it gets by him. Betts is in. Smith is in. 2-run score for the Dodgers. Taylor delivers a base hit, and Los Angeles is on top 4-2. A huge hit for Chris Taylor. Heredia just into the game. Their most accomplished center fielder, and he couldn't quite get there. And the Dodgers delivered 2.
Sorry, B.A. Luke Jackson scared, I think, a little bit to spike that slider like he thought. So what does he do? Throws the fastball, jams him a little bit, but he's able to get it to fall. Big hit.
I don't know if it's the hardest job, but it's one of the hardest jobs to come in and be a defensive player. It looked like Heredia thought he had a chance, and then he kind of pulled up and was caught in between.
Unfortunate, Jock Peterson was sprinting over to back up. Otherwise, Turner's able to score as well.
A walk, an intentional walk, a hit by pitch, put them in harm's way.
Base hit, 2 RBIs. And the Dodgers have the lead and silencing this crowd of 41,000 here in Atlanta. They're going to score it as a double and 2 RBIs for Taylor. For time after time, Taylor is coming through. Bellinger, the intentional pass. Bases loaded now for A.J. Pollock. Another great block by d'Arnaud.
It's a tough jump, like you said, center fielder coming in and just in front of him.
It was almost like he wasn't sure he was going to be able to catch it off his shoe tops or make the dive, and he did neither.
But again, the spike slider, I think, got him throwing that fastball.
And the threat of a wild pitch with a runner at third. A.J. Pollock with the bases loaded. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
I don't care how many times you run in the hallway or run in the cage, it doesn't prepare you to come in and be a Gold Glover and center fielder, and that's what you needed there.
Well, and your first move, just to be able to burst forward with that speed, it's tough.
Chris Taylor, what a postseason he's having.
Money. I go back to Dave Roberts. Taylor really struggled to the finish line in the regular season. A swing and a miss by Pollock. It's 1 and 2.
7 for 82, Brian, coming down the stretch.
I mean, it was a monumental struggle that you're wondering if he was ever going to pull out of it. But he didn't even start the wild card game. Came in off the bench in his second at bat, had the walk off prior to the game. We asked Dave Roberts about Chris Taylor before that wild card game because I got to trust my guys, the guys who have been here before. Experience matters in the postseason.
He's a baseball player.
Big time.
Bases loaded. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers trying to add to their lead. 4-2 LA. And a swing and a miss. A strikeout to end the inning. Double switch put Heredia in the game. Chris Taylor delivers with a 2 RBI double. Was that close to making the catch? Instead, the Dodgers get a pair and they lead 4-2. Stretch time in Atlanta.
No way can you feel that BASS bass. All right, the way.
Well, what a game we have again tonight. Game 2, Brian Anderson, Jeff Francoeur, Ron Darling, and the players who have delivered in the postseason in the past are coming up big. And let's zero in on Chris Taylor here. Man, what a postseason.
Well, he sends the Dodgers to the NLDS with the 2-run homer in the wild card game, which you see here on a hanging breaking ball. And as you said, B.A. didn't even start this game. Comes in off the bench. And, of course, tonight delivers the big hit to center field. Two hits with runners in scoring position this series, both Chris Taylor.
You know, I think what Brian was talking about when Dave Roberts was talking about his players and his 6-year tenure, that he's been able to count on this postseason. He counts on guys like Chris Taylor. That's why he's in the starting lineup. But when you think about it tonight for the Braves, 9 walks, 1 hit by pitch. Too much traffic on the bases for them to stem the tide of the Dodgers.
The Dodgers scored 2 runs in the 7th on 1 hit, that Taylor double. There were 3 walks and a hit by pitch. One of those walks, an intentional pass. Actually, 2 of those, an intentional pass. And here we go. We got some changes to get to you. Blake Trinan, most importantly for the Dodgers, gave up the walk-off last night, right back on the horse tonight as he gets the bottom of the 7th. And his first fastball at 97 and a swing and a miss by d'Arnaud.
Got to talk to Trinan today about a few different things. And one of the things you notice is Mookie Betts now playing center field is and Steven Souza Jr. in right field with all the changes from Dave Roberts in that inning, is that Trinan is a big fella. He is a big, strong guy, and just one hanging slider last night cost him.
Travis d'Arnaud, Braves catcher, been busy behind the plate, been in the dirt all game, and they'll ask if he went. He did. Unable to check his swing. d'Arnaud down to the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Very close.
Yeah.
Could have went either way. Called for the Dodgers.
Heredia due up third.
On the defensive charts, 15% probability for Heredia to come up and make that catch. So very difficult play.
Now, maybe if he scoops it clean, it's just one run that scores. A tough chance for him. And as deep as the Braves are playing, and then you go back to Ozzie Albies and his base hit last night. Not here nearly on a line that Taylor's was, but it bounced in front of the center fielder.
And it's funny, you come into a game, the ball finds you.
Yeah, right away. He'll get his chance at the plate, Heredia, in a moment. 3-2 pitch, and it's ball 4. So Trinan is showing some signs of being a human being on the mound. He has issued a leadoff walk.
Only the second walk for Dodger pitching this evening.
Trinan and Jansen forming one of the most dynamic duos at the back of the bullpen again this year. Jansen had wobbled a little bit. And remember, it was Urias that closed out games in the postseason last year, both in the LCS against Atlanta and then in the World Series against Tampa Bay. And then Jansen kind of changed his role, changed his game. Trinan signed a 2-year deal to pitch in front of Jansen, with the idea that if Jansen faltered, it would be Trinan in the 9th as the closer. Josh Bard on the receiving end down in the bullpen. So the instructions coming from the Dodger bench.
You can see the way Dansby Swanson attacked that ball. He is trying to shoot it to right field. Last time got a base hit. Trying to stay on that same game plan.
Tying run at the plate here, and Swanson bouncing ball, got a chance to turn it. Seager flips it. Turner over to first. A double play. Big double play for Los Angeles. Trinan gets that ground ball. 6-4-3. 2 outs with 1 swing of the bat of Dansby Swanson.
Well, and that's where he's so tough as a hitter. He continues to come with that sinker, and eventually, Ronnie, you hit a ground ball.
Yeah.
Wipes out a leadoff walk.
I don't know about you guys, but Trey Turner getting more and more comfortable around that second base bag.
We saw the Dodgers a lot this year in the regular season, and when that move was made, when he came over from the Nationals, and I'd say even up to like the last 2 weeks of the season, he was not comfortable at all. That is a jam shot, bouncing ball, race to the bag. Trinan is there. Heredia is out on the first pitch, and Trinan, after a leadoff walk, cleans it up quickly. Scoreless 7th inning for Atlanta. Heredia's at bat doesn't last long. 4-2 Dodgers in game 2 as we go to the 8th.
Sometimes baseball becomes ballet, and when you're watching Bellinger play first base, his ability to run that and narrow the gap between he and the pitcher, sprinting with that underhand toss, staying low to allow the pitcher to see that ball in his hand, all white, easy to catch. That's ballet-like. It's beautiful as it gets.
Great camera work. Sending it out into the open spaces, like leading a receiver across the middle by a quarterback.
Well, credit Cody Bellinger for the year he's had offensively. Never affected his defense.
Chris Martin on the mound for Atlanta. So when you clean up that 7th inning, as Will Smith, I beg your pardon, Steven Souza Jr. bounces to short. Souza's first at bat, he came in on that double switch. And out number 1, Julio Urias, who is the game 4 scheduled starter, is up and throwing for Los Angeles. You got a couple of lefties due up, Rosario and Freeman, and Ozzie Albies. They are grinding it out too. Dave Roberts is there with Bob Guerin, the bench coach, and Mark Pryor, the pitching coach.
I guess what could be considered like a bullpen day for him if he throws 1 inning.
And then he'd have 2 days off before his game 4 start. Buehler is up for game 3 as Betts takes a strike. Game 3 starters in LA, Dodger Stadium. It'll be Charlie Morton for Atlanta against Walker Buehler for LA.
Well, I think we can all agree that'll be the one game out of these three early that I have a feeling those starters are going to go a little deeper in the game.
Don't count on it, Frenchie.
Well, yeah. Guess you're right.
Sounds like a DraftKings play right there.
There you go.
Here's the 0-1. Not a strike. Betts has had a night. He's got a hit. He's walked twice. 2 stolen bases. He scored 2 runs. He's had a terrific postseason.
The walk in the 7th. Have to find a way to get on base. The stolen base just continues on. For one of the most talented players, maybe the most intelligent player as far as baseball instincts are concerned.
One of the great guys in the game as well. He's got the respect of every player in the game.
Chris Martin, one of the Braves' top relievers the last 2 years, left off the NLDS roster, but got put onto the NLCS. Struggled with his command this year.
Tall right-hander, fastball, breaking ball, and good split.
Brian Snitker took his starter out, Ian Anderson. Pitched 3 innings today. There was a conversation with Anderson and the Braves manager. Surely it had something to do with the ability to bring him back. At some point you start thinking about a potential game 4. The Braves have a hole in the rotation for a game 4 right now. They started Max Fried yesterday. Urias is going to get the start for the Dodgers in game 4 most likely.
Did you tell me that Matzik got charged with those 2 runs?
He did.
Game's not fair.
Yeah, that
after what he did.
Right. Yeah, Matzik. So Jackson gave up the hit to Taylor, but the 2 earned runs belong to Matzik. As Betts fouls it away, there were 3 walks, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, both intentional walks. It was kind of a mess of an inning. It actually could have been a bigger inning for the Dodgers. They had the bases loaded with Pollock at the plate. He strikes out to end it. 8 batters came to the plate in the 2-run 7th. Taylor delivers again. On the ground to third, Riley gets his body square, makes a play for the out. Betts is retired. 2 outs in the 8th. Tomorrow is a travel day for the Dodgers and Braves. There is game 3 of the ALCS. Astros, Red Sox at Fenway. It'll be on FS1, 8 p.m. Eastern. Joe Buck, John Smoltz, Tom Verducci, and Ken Rosenthal will have the call for you on that one. Game's also available on ESPN Radio. Full postseason schedule can be found at MLB.com.
We'll be watching, fellas.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Here's Corey Seager. 2 outs in the 8th. Looking ahead to the Braves' 8th. Lefties Rosario and Freeman, and the switch hitter Albies.
You know, looking back to that inning, Matzik has been really good against right-handers this year. Justin Turner comes up, you make that move. Is part of that, though, mid-20s pitches? He's pitched in all 6 games.
Yes, I believe so. It's not that you have an innings limit.
Into left, Rosario on the track, makes a catch. 3 up, 3 down from Martin. Julio Urias been great out of the bullpen in the postseason before, and he's coming out of there today. You're watching the 2021 National League Championship Series on TBS. It's presented by Loan Depot. Crowd of over 40,000. Dodgers put them back in their seats. Chris Taylor with a 2 RBI double in the 7th inning. Broke a 2-2 tie. And now the secret weapon, a secret no longer for Dave Roberts.
Well, I was just thinking with TBS, the best in NBA, Julio Urias is like the best 6th man in the game. He can do whatever you want to do. 2 days ago, he threw 4 innings in game 5. the most crucial innings. Gave up 1 run, Darren Ruff home run, and now back out there here to pitch a crucial 8th inning.
Rosario, Freeman, Albies, 2 lefties and a switch hitter coming up. 4-2 Los Angeles. And a swing and a miss.
Frenchie, you were saying before, Rosario does not give anything away to left-handed pitching.
No. We saw Vesia last time. Work the count, single up the middle.
Freeman's got good numbers against Urias.
Rosario 2 hits tonight. And he slaps that one past Seager at third base, who was over on the shift. And Rosario, his 3rd hit of the game, and the Braves will bring the tying run to the plate. And guess who? Freddie Freeman's coming up.
When Rosario came over to the Braves, he was on the IL at the time. 3-4 weeks before he came back, but he's starting to swing the bat like the guy that was playing 2 years ago in Minnesota.
I mean, you have to love the move by Alex Anthopoulos to get Rosario. How many general managers or people in charge of the baseball program trade for someone who can't play for you yet?
Right. Now Freeman, he has struck out 7 consecutive times. Most in an LCS. Tying run at the plate. Freeman in the air to left field. Going to stay up there for Pollock. And he'll make the play. Tagging is Rosario. And he is just in there. Boy, that was risky. So Freeman a fly ball out. Rosario to second base. Down 2.
Boy, the Braves had some sketchy running in the division series, right, Jeff?
Well, I'll tell you what, not the smartest of base running. Pollock with a good throw on the base here gets him. It's one of those, hey, it's smart move, but if you're out,
smart move now.
I'm not going back to the dugout.
Especially with Albies coming up and his power potential against left-handed pitching.
Him and Riley.
Strong throw by Pollock just off the line. And Rosario is in there. Freeman snaps the strikeout streak. Flies out to left field. Now it's Albies. Dodgers got a 2-run homer from Seager in the 1st. Peterson with a 2-run home run to tie it in the 4th. Taylor drove in 2 with a double. That was in the 7th. And now here we are, 4-2, 8th inning. And Ozzie Albies at the plate.
This is only their 5th opportunity with runners in scoring position. 1 for 4 is Atlanta in the series.
Albies late, fouls it away. Urias, a 3-pitch pitcher. You'd think he goes about it the same way as a reliever in a postseason game versus a starter in a postseason game.
Well, I think as a starter, you might see him attack more fastballs early. He's going to be a little bit more careful. And look, for the Braves right here, I think this is your time to strike, knowing the way Kenley Jansen's been pitching. You have your 2 top power guys up right now.
You got to get one in.
Yeah.
You got to get one in.
Jansen preparing. Could see him here in this 8th inning. Here's the 0-1. And that's a base hit into right field. Rosario got a late start. They're going to wave him home. The throw to the plate. The slide. He's safe. Oh, my goodness. Oh, one of the riskiest sends you can have. Ron Washington wound him home, and Rosario is just in there. RBI for Albies, and it's a 1-run game. Man, that is laying the cards on the table. They will certainly want to check this one. That was close. This has a chance to be overturned.
I mean, playing so shallow was Steven Souza Jr., who's got a great arm. It's a good throw. And I thought for a second there that Will Smith was able to almost block the plate.
Well, Rosario had to freeze for a second, you see, with the hit.
Yep.
And Ron Washington, one of the most aggressive third base coaches you'll see. The question is right here, did his hand touch that plate before Smith was able to get him?
Smith tried to get that knee in there to stop him.
He got it.
He's safe.
His hand's in there. His hand is in there. That is
an
incredible slide by Rosario.
2 down. 2 runs down, and to make that call.
You know, you just kind of said it, though, Ron. They needed one at least to kind of get it, and Ron Washington took a chance.
And this is going to be really picky, but Albies should be at second base.
Yes. Good call.
Yep.
He's still at first with an RBI. Here comes the call. And safe is the call. The crew chief, Mark Carlson. Boy, Rosario just walking the tightrope twice. Once at second base, once at the plate. So the call is confirmed.
Ron Washington, ice in his veins.
I'll tell you, that is a bold move. Look at, I think I cannot wait to ask him what was going through his mind in that scenario.
He's got to be at least breathing a little better right now.
He would say, B.A., you can't be scared. Come on.
That's what he would say. Exactly what he would say.
Well, right here, it's, you know, you get Austin Riley coming up. Kenley Jansen's ready in the pen. But are you asking a lot for him to get 5 outs?
Urias has got a good move to first base, not a great one. Albies has great speed. We saw him go early in the count last night before Riley had the game-winning hit. History repeating itself again. What a series. We're only in game 2.
Wow. 1-run game, 8th inning. Albies at first. Austin Riley at the plate. Braves down 1. And Urias.
And I think Urias is in here for a couple reasons. One, he's one of the most talented pitchers on their staff, but he can neutralize Albies at first base. Jansen in, he steals second automatically.
Yep, good call.
4-3 game. Urias deals. Riley in the air, center field. That ball's got some heat on it, and it is over the head of the center fielder Betts. Albies around third. Throw to the plate, and we are tied. Austin Riley, the king of Atlanta, delivers again. Walk off last night. Game tying double here in the 8th.
And the Braves MVP steps up again and delivers a huge blow.
How about Albies? Remember, a lot of shifts in the outfield. So Taylor out, he's in left field. Mookie Betts moves to center field and couldn't get there in time. By the time he got it in, great throw from Seager. Underneath the body, though, of Albies. And another close play at home. Ron Washington, he has no fear.
Now Urias facing Jock Peterson with a go-ahead run at second. First ball swinging, cuts and misses, and a curveball. Smith was just trying to let that ball travel as far as he could. He knew it was going to be bang bang.
That's why he lost his glove, because he was hoping ball, Ozzie, plate would all meet at the same time, and they did.
I'm glad Smith didn't get that left arm hurt either.
Riley at second, 1 away. Peterson takes a ball. An electrifying moment in front of the home crowd. Dodgers got 2 in the 7th. Austin Riley comes up big again.
After a 2-0 and 3-1 lead last season in the NLCS, this is the young man, this left-hander, who sent him home.
He's given up 3 hits. 1-1 pitch. Peterson had a good cut at it. That was left right in the middle of the plate. 83-mile-an-hour curveball from Urias. Superstar. Austin Riley at 24 years of age.
And you keep wondering, Game 5 when he came in was his first relief appearance this year. I know he's used to it in years past, but how different is it for him after going a full year of not doing this?
I think we talked about it before. When you're asking 5, 6, 7 pitchers to come in and be perfect, someone's not going to be.
Peterson changes back. Doesn't have the Rizzo model anymore. The 1-2, down he goes. Urias comes right back with a strikeout, a big one at that. Boy, showing some moxie on the mound after this crowd is up and roaring. Just gassed him up.
I think there was some frustration in that fastball. Just blew it straight by John Peterson. And I think right there, that matchup was the reason Ron Washington was aggressive and sent Ozzie Albies. Second and third, one out with the lefty-lefty matchup. He took a chance to go ahead and tie it.
Good call.
Here, Adrianza will be the pinch hitter. He's the #1 pinch hit option for Brian Snitker. 4-4 game. Braves get 2 runs here in the 8th, still threatening. The closer, Will Smith, is preparing for the 9th inning. The Dodgers will have Trey Turner, Will Smith, and then the pitcher spot. We'll see a pinch hitter.
Adrianza, one of the best pinch hitters in baseball, 16 pinch hits this year, tied for first in the major leagues.
Riley carries the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 8th. Adrianza takes a strike.
Three infielders on the left-hand side playing Adrianza to pull. Heredia on the bench. Game tied. Anything on the ground on the left side has got to be kept in the infield by the 3 infielders on that side.
And guys, look at the outfield, pinched in the gaps and in. They know that if there's a base hit, they got to be able to throw Riley out.
To me, Sousa in right field a little shallow with 2 outs.
Here comes Urias, and a swing and a foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Adrianza.
Adrianza was just trying to hit that hole on the right side. Now Trey Turner with 2 strikes moves over 5, 6 steps.
And I think that's the reason Sousa in right field is shallow. I think he knows it's going to be tough for him to drive a ball over my head. I'll take my chances.
Cold evening again here in Atlanta.
Urias, 2 outs. He's given up 3 hits and 2 runs. Every player, both sides, both dugouts on the rail.
Last night Atlanta had 6 hits and struck out 14 times. Tonight they've walked 9 and hit a batter. They're still here.
Think about those 10 runners left on base for Los Angeles. Scored twice in the 7th, but stranded them loaded as well. Had a chance to put the Braves away. They come roaring back in the 8th. Urias deals. Adrianza takes a ball. Good block back there by Smith. Keeps Riley at second base.
Now, both teams so nervous in the fact Atlanta Braves got a chance to go up 2-0. They know they've lost 10 of their last 11 out at Dodger Stadium. They know how important it is to try to get a lead.
Got swept at Dodger Stadium in the last regular season series. That's where this series is headed for Game 3. Game 2 still up for grabs. 4-4 game. Urias deals and a swing and a miss. Down he goes. A strikeout. Dave Roberts says it's a game on the margins in the postseason. You can't get any closer than these plays here. Rosario takes second. Risky move. Rosario to the plate. Just gets in there. Made it a 1-run game. And then after the Riley double off the wall, Albies on the margin scores the tying run. What a game. What a series already. Tied at 4. At over 107 miles an hour, knocked it over the head of Mookie Betts in center field. And this game is all tied up as we head to the 9th inning. And the Braves closer is on, Ronnie. Will Smith.
The Braves closer. This is a closer's game. This is a closer's season, closer's postseason.
Trey Turner will lead off. And Turner in the air to left field. Back on it is Rosario. He's near the wall, and this is going to be caught at the wall. Trey Turner gave it a ride, almost knocked it out of here to put the Dodgers on top.
Now, we talk about Trey Turner crushing left-handed pitching. Got a good pitch the first pitch here and really popped it up, almost left the yard. Wow.
So this is what Atlanta's like when it's not humid at 90 degrees.
There you go.
I was thinking the same thing. How many days of the year is that ball in the stands? But not when the temperatures are in the 50s.
Look at Smith.
One away.
It's all right to pray.
Turner can't believe it. He thought he got it. One out. Here is Will Smith. So where we are in the batting order, the pitcher spot is due up next. The Dodgers have one position player left. They carry a 5-man bench.
Braves have already pitched around Smith twice, intentionally walking him in his last 2 at-bats. There's Urias. Things did not go smoothly for him, certainly that inning. Left shaking his head.
A Will Smith matchup. They met last year, and the Dodgers Smith got him. Austin Barnes is going to hit next for LA. He's on deck. He's the last man. Beatty, Pujols, Souza, Justin Turner have all been used.
That was a 3-run home run by Smith, off Smith in Game 5.
That was in Arlington in the National League bubble a season ago.
You're seeing slider, 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 and I think he's going to be careful.
This was that moment from Game 5 of the LCS last season in an all Will Smith matchup, and the Dodgers version didn't miss. Has hit so many big homers late in games. The Braves' Will Smith is quick to remind you that he's also picked up 2 strikeouts against the Dodgers. Will Smith.
Did he just text you? Or?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I remember asking him about that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't forget I struck him out twice.
Thought he had maybe a.
He just looked up here and
he let you know
waved
for you
at
to
me.
say it.
Two balls and a strike. Two and two now. Cool, calm, collected. Managed the World Series with the Rangers a couple of years.
He's done it all.
Third base coach with that windmill action, and he sent a couple of runners. Risky sends. They both work out. Brusdar Graterol is loosening in the pen, not Jansen. Here's a 2-2. And he got him. The Braves Smith strikes out the Dodgers Smith. 2 men are out.
Stayed with all the breaking balls, right, Frenchie?
5 sliders in a row. And maybe saved his best for last.
Impressive work by Will Smith.
And you wonder with the Dodgers Will Smith in that scenario with the 3 walks today, maybe wanting to do something. You know, knowing Barnes is behind you, batting the last pinch hitter you have.
Austin Barnes pinch hitting with 2 outs. This game is checkered with moments like this. Last players on the bench or players you're not expecting to deliver in the big moments. There's a full history of moments like this. Dave Roberts had one of those moments with a stolen base in the 2004 World Series on this day.
17 years ago.
It's crazy to think that that was 17 years ago.
Yeah.
The steal that started the comeback.
Dave Roberts said it was an out-of-body experience. He said they were going to put a bunt down. I said, take it off. I'm stealing second. And he did against Mariano Rivera. Now he's a manager, and he has gone through his bench. And Barnes pops it foul out of play.
Good spot by Will Smith behind in the count. Perfect pitch on the knees.
In the Braves' ninth. Pitcher spot due up. They'll have d'Arnaud, then Swanson. 2 balls and a strike to count. Barnes hanging in there.
If somehow the Dodgers get the lead, your man on the right, Jansen. Tie game, 103-mile-an-hour sinker balls from Gratterall.
Austin Barnes in a 2-2 count. Hit 6 homers this year, not known as a power threat. His last home run came on September 1st. Moment you dream about as a kid. 9th inning, tie game. And Barnes takes a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Can hardly watch.
If I'm Will Smith, the left-handed reliever for the Braves, I do not want Chris Taylor coming to the plate. You have to go after Barnes.
Taylor drove in a pair with a double in the 7th to give the Dodgers the lead. He's due next. Full count, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. Smith struck him out. Inning is over. 3 up and 3 down, and a couple of Ks for Will Smith. Here we go to the bottom of the 9th. The Braves are coming to bat. 4-4 game. Braves won it last night in walk-off style. Do they have another one in them tonight? Dodgers hope for extra innings. Incredible drama here. The NLCS. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Travis d'Arnaud will start it. Brusdar Graterol, the hard-throwing right-hander out of the Dodger pen. And his first one in triple digits. He misses up high for ball 1.
Graterol has thrown the 13 hardest pitches in the postseason. 4 2/3, 3 hits, no runs allowed, no walks, 3 Ks for Brusdar Graterol.
Graterol trying to get the Dodgers to extra innings as d'Arnaud takes ball 2.
Remember Brian Snitker today talking how great the Dodgers bullpen was and said we didn't even face the guy that threw 110 sinkers.
I want to drop 1980, 85 on you right now. Take a pitch from Graterol. No need to swing. Make him throw a strike.
2-0 the count. 4-4 game. And he shatters his bat. That is going to fall for a base hit. Swinging away, 2-0. d'Arnaud is aboard, carries the winning run. And a pinch runner coming on for Atlanta. Exploding that bat.
Who said you should take a pitch 2-0? Somebody in this booth.
It dies happy.
Come on, 3-0, you know they're not taking pitches anymore, Ron.
I don't know. I was just an idiot for a second there. Apologies.
Christian Pache will pinch run that goes to the 10th inning. Contreras will catch. So d'Arnaud's night is over. A walk and a single. And the speedy Pache carries the potential winning run. Here is Dansby Swanson. He shows bunt and takes a strike. Can't imagine 100 miles an hour is easy to get a bunt down against.
Well, and I'm the type of guy, I love the old school thought of the process. Yeah. At the same time, Heredia's on deck, which is a tough righty-righty matchup.
So Swanson's one of your better hitters. Let him swing the bat?
I think so.
Okay.
Swanson bounced into a double play his last time up. Shows bunt, gets a bunt down. It's a firm one, though. Graterol to second. Oh, what a pick out there by Seager. Boy, he saved an error, gets the out. That is some play by the Dodgers shortstop. That was coming in hot too from Gratterall, and Seager picks it clean.
Well, you said it, B.A. Bunting 100's tough, and he just bunted it right back to him firm. And not the best of throws, but great play.
This ball is in center field 99% of the time.
Yeah, it's one thing with a first baseman's mitt. That's a tiny little shortstop's glove right there. What a play.
And with Pache's speed, he's on third after that.
So runner at first, one out now. Swanson and Heredia. Yikes.
Almost gets the on deck circle. Heredia on deck.
Heredia. That is, take him on right out of the catcher's glove right there. Got a better chance at a catcher's interference than a ball between the lines on that swing. Here's the 0-1. Oh man, he is just eating him alive.
He's living in everyone's kitchen.
Broke his bat
for Gratterall. Cosina.
0-2 the count. Needs a new piece of lumber.
Oh, you're not going to catch up to that.
Heredia has swung at every pitch he's seen. Entered the game on the double switch. Was involved in that play in center field. Sold out for it. Tried to make a catch. It was on the Taylor line drive. Ended up as a 2 RBI double. Swung at the first pitch of the 7th and grounded out. And he's hacked at the first 2, and he's down 0-2. And he's got to go for the smallest, lightest bat he can find, right?
Well, I was just thinking that, that you might be one of the latter guys on the bench when the bat boys don't even have the extra bat for you when you're up.
Hey, go to Anthony Rizzo's bat. Why not?
Gratterall's pitching, just lay them down in front of the on deck circle.
One away, no balls, 2 strikes. 1-0-2 with the fastball. We've seen Gratterall hit 103 thus far in the postseason.
What's crazy is it's with movement too. You know, it's not just forcing.
And it's just, he overpowers the ball.
Yeah.
Just as big and as strong as anyone who's ever played this game.
Dodgers set up for a double play. Here he comes. And a little jam shot. Roller out to third. Taylor makes a play for the out. Does advance a runner to second, but there are 2 outs. Braves have the potential winning run in scoring position now. Heredia moves him. Top of the order. And a call to the bullpen for Dave Roberts. Rosario is the batter. Homered off Gratterall earlier this year. And Roberts is not going to go down without his closer on the mound. So with 2 outs in the 9th, it'll be Kenley Jansen to try to get the Dodgers 2 extra innings in a 4-4 game. And a runner at second. Eddie Rosario will be the batter with 3 hits tonight.
That's what I was going to say, B.A. for the Braves. This is the guy you want up at the plate.
That's right.
Take a break. We'll set it all up when we come back. Game on the line. Jansen coming in. Games. A walk-off last night. Austin Riley delivers an RBI single in the 9th. Braves go up 1-0 in the series. Now here we are again. Bottom of the 9th inning. Kenley Jansen on the mound, the Dodger closer. And his goal is to get the Dodgers to the plate in the 10th inning. We have already had 4 walk-offs in the postseason already in the first 22 games. Taylor started it in the wild card game in the National League. 2-run homer. And then back-to-back walk-offs by the Boston Red Sox.
Christian Vasquez. Kike Hernandez with a sac fly. Rays go home.
And then last night, Austin Riley, 24-year-old Mississippi native, on Blake Trinan, one of the toughest relievers in the game. 4 times in the first 22 games. It's been a walk-off in the postseason this year.
I'm thinking of Craig Kimbrell with the Braves, Zach Britton with the Orioles. No manager will ever be caught again with their closer in the bullpen in a big moment.
In a situation like this, Rosario, not a lot of as you see the arms real quick for the Dodgers, really good arms the whole way through. They're going to have to play a little bit shallower because Dansby Swanson's got to be off. Rosario, though, last night faced Jansen, so got to see him.
Just a little thing. If there is a base hit, Ron Washington will be sending the runner.
That's a given, especially with 2 outs. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. Taylor, the lone infielder, on the left.
Again, anything on the ground, even in the shift, you have to dive and keep it in front of you or to the side of you. Cannot let it go into the outfield. Anything on the ground.
Eddie Rosario, 3 hits tonight against Kenley Jansen. And first ball swinging. Oh, and it gets through. And here comes the winning run. Swanson scores, and the Braves win again in their final at-bat. Rosario smoked it off the bat at 105 miles an hour, but Seager was right there. It was a hot one, and it went right by him into center field. Swanson scores the run, scored as a base hit. A 4-hit night for Rosario, and the Atlanta Braves up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series.
Remember, it was Corey Seager's pick off the throw of Gratterall that kept the Dodgers in this game. But a ball at 105 miles an hour, he tried to flash the leather to pick that ball from Rosario. Frenchie, it didn't work.
Rosario, an aggressive hitter, goes after the first pitch a lot. And right here gets probably the best pitch he was going to see that whole AB. And for the 4th time tonight, smokes it.
Again, traded for Eddie Rosario, a player that you knew was not going to be able to play for you right away. The dividends have started to pay off.
Tough chance for Seager. And Rocket went for the backhand. Missed it. Bedlam in Atlanta. Pouring out of the dugout. And Jansen's outing. Last one pitch.
Brian, the Braves have held serve. They were up 2-0 in last year's games. They were up 3-1 in last year's games against the Dodgers. They're going to Dodger Stadium, where the Los Angeles Dodgers won 58 times this season. Far from over.
Last time the Braves had back-to-back walk-offs in the postseason, 1991 World Series. Lemke, Jerry Willard. And they've done it again here in 2021. And it's Austin Riley and Eddie Rosario. What a game. The 5th walk-off in the first 23 games of this postseason.
Will Smith now with 2 wins in this series. And who knew that the slowest heartbeat on the field was the third base coach, Ron Washington.
Down to Lauren Shahadi. She's got Eddie Rosario. Lauren?
Eddie, congratulations. Kenley came in before your at-bat. What was your approach?
My approach is waiting for cutter. Good pitch to hitting. I see in the middle. I try not too much, hitting good contact, and I done a good job.
Did you know it fell?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I feel good. All day I feel good. When simple. Try to hit him by sea, land drives, and that's it.
You came to this team for this very moment. Does that make it extra sweet for you?
Too much. That's the moment I love it. I am here to try to win the World Series. I feel great, and the organization feel awesome right now.
You know it's your manager's birthday. You made him a little nervous there, this team, no?
I think so. Yeah, I say happy birthday to him early, but everybody here for one drink.
Enjoy the moment, Eddie.
Thank you so much.
Ryan.
Thank you, Lauren. Thanks to Eddie Rosario, native of Puerto Rico, delivers a moment he'll never forget. His 4th hit of the game is a walk-off single, scoring Dansby Swanson just under the glove of Corey Seager. And the Atlanta Braves with back-to-back walk-offs up 2-0 in this best-of-7 NLCS.
What a job by the Braves. Down 4-2 to rally against Julio Urias, who last season sent him home.
I was going to say, you get to that point of the game and you got to be thinking Urias in the 8th, Jansen in the 9th. Not many chances, but they came up with some big hits, and you said it. Ron Washington, slowest heartbeat on the team.
Gee. Now that 2-run 8th inning, examining all of those close plays. The one at second, Rosario tagging up. The one at the plate with Rosario, and then the one at the plate with Albies. I mean, those are fractions that are either runs or outs. The Atlanta Braves and the Los Angeles Dodgers will take this party to Los Angeles. Travel day tomorrow. And then Walker Buehler against Charlie Morton. And you know Dodger Stadium is going to be rocking on Tuesday afternoon. 5-4 the final score. Braves take a 2-0 NLCS lead. Up next, it's the postseason show on TBS. It's presented by Hyundai. For Ron Darling, Jeff Francoeur, Lauren Shahadi, the rest of our terrific TBS crew, led in the truck by Jeff Randolph and Matt Lipp. I'm Brian Anderson saying goodbye from Truist Park in Atlanta. You've been watching MLB on TBS, your exclusive home for the 2021 National League Championship Series.